Okay. Continue here. What was your doubt?
Sir, as in my father is in army, so
Okay.
he always say that कि फौज में क्या होता है Indian Army, not I'm talking about Indian Air Force or Navy.
Okay.
He's saying that in Indian Army उसमें क्या होता है कि ज़्यादा टफनेस रखते हैं एंड if someone wants to आगे बढ़ना चाहता है तो उसको पीछे दबाया जाता है. So like if I am planning to join an OTA to
Mhm.
clear CDS then after that. So sir मेरा एक ये प्लान था कि at in the age of 38 or 37 I will give one attempt for civil services.
Mhm.
So क्या ऐसा होता है कि बीच में I will in case मैं सर्व करूँगा तो उसमें मेरे को पढ़ने नहीं दिया जाएगा या फिर कुछ इस तरीके से if I want to grow myself और improve करना चाहूँगा just to give और prepare for UPSC civil services तो क्या मुझे इस तरीके से दबाया जाएगा इन इंडियन आर्म फोर्सेस.
Honestly speaking, that is not the right word to use, dabaya jata hai, because
हाँ हाँ
when you enter an organization, you are supposed to work for the organization. तुम वहां पे जाके if you want to aspire for something else, no organization will be happy. Take any corporate company or any other organization, they want you to work for them because they have invested in your training. They have groomed you to become an officer in the armed forces. So once you enter, you are supposed to serve in that organization. If you want to have other aspirations, it's better to do it right now, because after entering the army, one thing, you won't get time for UPSC and these level exams. You need continuous preparation, at least like 5 to 8 hours a day, bare minimum. That the army will never give you, because वैसे भी यहाँ पे officers की बहुत कमी है. One officer is doing the appointment of 2 3 officers to cover up the shortage, so you won't get time, one thing. And after military training, you won't feel like studying at all. It is like that. You will feel like doing more physical activities, and your studying and kind of abilities will go down because of the extreme physical rigor, psychological aspects of training which come in. You will not be able to study as much as you are doing right now. So you will be studying only whatever is within the army, and you will be growing in that closed environment only. If you want to pursue something outside, it is a little difficult, especially in the young years at least. For the first 5 to 10 years of service, it's mostly impossible only.
thank you sir.
You're welcome. Next, who has raised their hand? Okay, guys, we'll follow this. All of you, keep yourself on mute except me. Uh, Whoever wants to talk to me, raise your hands. I'll go one by one and tell you to talk. You can unmute yourself then and ask your doubt. Now, Akhilesh, please.
हाय सर, गुड इवनिंग. गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन. सर मेरा ये डाउट है सर. मेरा एजुकेशनल बैकग्राउंड मैकेनिकल है, बट
Hmm.
करंटली आई एम वर्किंग इन अ सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनी.
Okay.
सर मैं इंटरव्यूइंग ऑफिसर को ये चीज़ बताता हूँ, बट स्टिल ही आस्क डीपली इन मैकेनिकल थिंग्स. तो सर इसका क्या सोल्यूशन है?
You are working in IT, but that doesn't mean that 4 years you have studied nothing. Na? You must be aware of the basics of mechanical at least. You
यस
won't be
सर, आई एम.
asking deep technical questions, right? So, you it is expected that you are aware of at least the basics of your core subjects. Although you are working in another field, you must have learned something in those 4 years, right? So he wants to check on that, whether you have actually studied or not. Like,
सो
what
सर
is your
मुझे क्या
actual doubt here? How to tackle these
मतलब
questions, or you are
या
unable to answer them? What is your question?
लाइक आई एम अनेबल टू आंसर एवरी क्वेश्चन इन टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट.
Not required. Your technical acumen doesn't hold a big impact on your recommendation. It is just a check how ready you are, and some qualities of yours are judged to a very basic level in that. Whether you are serious, whether you are responsible enough to study, inquiry is happening, but it doesn't have a big impact. If you are good otherwise, even if you are not technically sound, you will be recommended.
ओके सर, थैंक यू.
You must be able to maintain your calm when you are asked those questions. You may feel uncomfortable, you may feel nervous when you are unable to answer most of the questions. You must still be able to maintain your composure and tell honestly that you are not aware. or at least try to answer in whatever way you can. That's technical questions. Honestly, don't have a big impact on your scoring. Obviously, on your recommendation as well.
ओके और सर एक वन लास्ट डाउट है
Yes.
सर रैपिड फायर जो राउंड होता है सर उसमें मैं क्वेश्चंस भूल जाता हूँ कई बार
Okay.
और सर मैंने वो प्रैक्टिस करने को भी ट्राई किया है बट सर मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा मैं उस पर कैसे काम करूँ
There's no thing like rapid fire here. These are series of questions. Rapid fire is where one person asks you a question and expects you to answer in 1 or 2 seconds. That is rapid fire. This is famously called as rapid fire, but it's not rapid fire. Some people call it CIQ, some people call a series of questions, whatever we hate. You must be able to remember those questions. That is where
या
these qualities like maintaining your calm during a stressful situation and remembering things, all these qualities come in. It comes with practice. One thing you can, and most of these question series are already available on the internet. Everyone knows what series of questions are going to be asked approximately, like not the exact same set, but 80 to 90% will be the same. One series will be on your entire educational qualifications. One will be mostly on your family. Another will be on current job you are doing. So you must be aware of the question series first. If 1 second here, someone is making a noise. I'll mute that. Okay. So am I audible to you guys?
यस
Yes,
सर
sir.
Okay. Okay. Uh, I forgot what I was saying. Okay. You must be aware of the questions first. Once you are already knowing the series, you must have practiced what you are going to answer when those questions are asked. Obviously, some unexpected questions will also be thrown in here and there. You must be able to answer them. There's a technique to do this. You can just remember the series of questions with one word each. Like, let's say there is a question series on your educational background. The question series is usually like, tell me about the percentages you scored from 10th to graduation, what subjects you chose, and why you chose those particular ones. Talk about your relationship with your friends and your teachers, about your extracurricular activities, about your positions of responsibility, any challenges you faced and how you overcame them, or how your education was financed. These are the basic, well known questions which can be expected. So remember, like this is an example. Take this question series, and while the interviewing officer is asking you these questions one by one, just remember one word for each question. Like the first question was about percentages, second one was about subjects, third one was about friends, fourth about teachers, fifth about hobbies, sixth about positions of responsibilities, seventh about any challenges. So remember these 7 to 8 words and make a mind image of these questions and start answering one by one. Take the first word, answer it, go to the. It is easy to remember a sentence. 8 to 10 words you must be able to remember.
यस सर
So
थैंक
remember
यू सो
that
मच
space and answer them one by one. Even if you forget a few questions in between, it's not a big thing. The interviewing officer will happily repeat himself. You must be able to maintain your calm and tackle it successfully. You should not panic or you should not try to bluff there. That's all. Rest everything is simple only.
ओके सर थैंक यू सो मच
You're welcome. Next, Devraj Sharma.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, here.
सर माय क्वेश्चन इज सर जैसे हम लोग एसएसबी की प्रिपरेशन करते हैं सर हम जैसे एसएसबी बोर्ड जाते हैं सर जैसे वहाँ पे 5 दिन के प्रोसीजर में हमें कुछ 15 OLQs चेक किए जाते हैं तो सर मुझे ये पूछना था कि सर जैसे हम लोग उस क्वालिटी को अपनी डेली डे लाइफ में कैसे से मतलब वैसी पर्सनालिटी बना सकते हैं जैसे उन लोगों को चाहिए मतलब सर हमारी डेली एक्टिविटीज कैसी होनी चाहिए सर ताकि हम लोग क्योंकि सर पर्सनालिटी चेंज करना एक लॉन्ग प्रोसीजर है एंड सर
Yes.
ताकि हम लोग उस वे में अपने आप को ढाल पाए एसएसबी तक
See, it is simple. You know what qualities are being expected, and you know the basic job profile of a young officer. In the army, take a lieutenant or a captain, and the equivalent ranks in the Air Force or the Navy. Look at what job they do and what are the requirements of that job. These officer-like qualities are basically job requirements for the armed forces officer cadre. So it is an equivalent of an HR interview, to be simple. in your corporate interviews, the HR tries to find out whether you are the right fit, whether you get in the cultural aspects of the organization. A similar thing is being checked at a more comprehensive level in a more scientific and deeper manner in the SSB. So once you know all the qualities required and what you are supposed to do after joining this profession, you must be able to do that in real life before for your SSB. You must be able to groom yourself as an officer before you go. Not to the extent which the academy trains you, but to whatever abilities you can get up to. Like, let's say your physical fitness is one thing, your English speaking ability, your ability to influence, all the 15 qualities basically. So how you improve these things is through improving your daily routine only. Physical activity, you know what to do. Group activities, like how we are conducting sessions, you can have similar things in your hostel, in your college, in your office, or with your friends, family, anyone. Just speaking to people and mingling, not being an introvert or not being a loner, basically. That is one thing you can do to improve your good qualities and leadership abilities. And try to take up positions of responsibility, try to lead teams or small groups, whatever level. If you're helping one person in their studies, even that is leading. You are leading that one person. So try to take up positions of responsibility, which will teach you many things. It is not like you need to have experience of leadership, but it comes through practice. Once you start commanding people or teaching people, it trains your mental faculties in a certain manner. So try to do those things, and your general awareness, daily reading of newspapers or following some good news channels or YouTube channels, everything. Many other things also come in. Your core subjects and your hobbies and interests, especially. You must be happy also. Even that is a big thing. So follow your interests and whatever gives you happiness every day. Spend time with your loved ones, family. All these things which any citizen, any normal person should be doing. SSB is expecting that much only. So nothing special or super, high qualities required. Very simple things. If you are a student, be a good student. If you are an employee, be a good employee. In your family, be a good son, be a good brother, good sister. Be good overall. That's all. SSB wants that much only.
यस सर. सर वन मोर क्वेश्चन इज देयर कि सर आजकल एक मिथ चल रही है कि सर जैसे लोगों ने एनडीए की एसएसबी दिए उसके बाद सर जैसे नहीं निकाल पाते सर जैसे मैं भी नहीं निकाल पाया था एसएसबी तो सर जैसे सीडीएस के जैसे हमारे चांसेस खुल गए तो सर हमसे मतलब ये मतलब सर मिथ रहती है कि जैसे एनडीए की एसएसबी में मतलब आसान होता है रिकमेंड होना और सीडीएस की एसएसबी काफी डिफिकल्ट होती है उसमें रिकमेंड होना तो सर अगर वो मतलब होती है तो फिर सर मतलब कैसे वर्क है क्योंकि सर वो उसमें मतलब सर कहते हैं कि मतलब आपसे ज्यादा एक्सपेक्टेशन की जाती है तो सर उसमें क्या एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं सर वो मुझे सर बता दीजिए.
It is not a myth completely, because yes, NDA or TES, whatever, or 10 plus 2 Navy ka BTech, when you are in your 12th standard, the expectation levels are obviously a little lower because you are still not mature, you are still getting into your adulthood. So basic things like your English or your general awareness or any other qualities are compromised to an extent because they know they'll be training you for 3 to 4 more years, and you will come to those expected levels while you get commissioned. But in case of graduate entries, the duration of training is less, one thing, and the kind of training you is essentially psychological. Any military training in the world is you and grooming you from scratch. They'll first break you down, they'll make you completely zero, and then start building from there. So, in order to do that, your maturity levels should be at a certain level. Once you get, your trainability comes down. You cannot be psychologically trained. You are already having all the things which you want in life, your ambitions, your goals, everything is fixed. So you are not flexible. It is difficult to train that kind of a person. So the expectation levels are in that sense. You must be already good in your required qualities. And few things cannot be trained at all. Like courage is something which a person cannot train you. You must be born with courage. Your early childhood should have taught you courage. You must have participated in things. Things like confidence, courage, these cannot be trained. Other attributes like communication, or these group qualities, or even intelligence to an extent can be trained. Yeah, it is that way. The duration of training is more one thing, and the trainability of your brain is more when you are in 10 plus 2 entries. It becomes difficult in graduation. That is why they expect you to be already almost there. They just want to train you to a small extent so that you reach that expected level when you get commissioned. That's the logic.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
What is the assessors expect
Your
from
doubts are clear?
serving candidate?
Okay.
Sir, you are hearing my voice?
Continue, continue.
Sir, what are the expert from serving candidate and the direct entries like CDS and NDA? So I am a serving in
Expectation.
serving candidate.
Understood. As far as the qualities are concerned, the expectations are same. In service candidates, it is expected that your English quality, like your overall lifestyle which you have led. See, the expectation is as per your PIQ only. If you are coming from a village background, if you are coming from a financially not a well-off place, they expect basic things from you only. Whether to your potential have you done justice? If let's say you are from a good family background and you have studied in a convent in a good metro city and still you are struggling with your English, that is not acceptable because you've got all the opportunities in your life and yet you haven't made use of them. But let's say you are from a different background, from a remote village where facilities were very minimal. In spite of that, if you are at a good level, then it is seen that when given those facilities, because military training will give you all kinds of facilities, 100%. So they know you will make use of them and you will build yourself. So that is the logic, and expectations are varied as per your profile. From a person who is a software engineer in a good metro city, the expectation is different. From a village background guy who is working as a constable in some place, or a farmer who is trying to become an officer, the expectation levels are different. So overall, whatever qualities are being seen, they are the same, but a little compromise is done here and there based on what you have done in your life and how likely you are to build those qualities. See, they are not interested in only the current level you are at. They are also making an estimate of what level you will reach after training, because that is where the actual criteria come in. When you become a lieutenant or the equivalents in Navy and Air Force, you must be able to perform those job responsibilities at that point of time. So you still have time to groom yourself. So a person who has utilized all the qualities well and who is determined, who has shown those motivation levels to train himself, he is more likely to show a bigger improvement in his training as compared to a person who already has everything and still lacking somewhere. This person has that trainability extent more, so that way he gets a little advantage while considering for recommendation. From service candidates, similar. They know that you are not getting time to study much, so your general awareness and all may be a little compromised. Your English speaking may be compromised on because they know the background you are coming from. But your physical fitness levels are expected to be higher than your civilian counterparts. Those kind of things, like you can understand yourself. You got the basic logic, right?
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. One second here. All of you keep yourself on mute only. I'll call your names one by one. Whoever has raised your hands, I'll go in order and call you out. Akash, Akash Keshwa.
Yes, yes, sir. I am here.
Yes, yes. Tell me.
My question is just simple. I want to ask that I have SSB on 10th of July, but haven't received any call-up letter on my mail. So
Okay.
what I have to do?
How do you know it is on 10th of July? Where did you see?
So I select the date. I did selection link on Indian Army website. I select the date and it shows that await for the instructions.
Okay. There are still 10 days to go. Usually it should have come by now. Call up this selection board which you have chosen. Talk to the NCO there. They'll help you. Or write an email saying I haven't received my call letter yet.
Okay.
You can just call up the selection center which you have selected, whichever board you have chosen. You can call them up and ask.
Okay, sir.
Someone is saying check download section of the website. You
Yeah,
may
that
have
is collaborator. That is a common collaborator, but that one come on every candidate's email. That one is I'm asking about.
not required here. Once you have the common call-up letter, what is the requirement of? There's nothing specific to you which is coming in. Those same instructions come in on your mail also. You just download the common call letter and go whenever you have to select the day.
Okay,
And if you want to actually get a personal call letter on your mail, just call up and ask for confirmation कि वो procedure है या नहीं.
okay, sir. Okay.
All right. Next. Cadet Yuvraj.
Good evening and Jai Hind, sir.
Good evening, yaar. Jai Hind. Please tell me.
Sir, I will take your much time because I have 5 to 6 queries. So is it okay?
Yeah. Please be quick. That's all.
Okay, sir. So the first question is that is over preparedness a negative impact in SSB?
Over preparedness as in?
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by over preparedness?
So over preparedness means इंटरव्यू में जो क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं हमें पता ही होता है ना मोस्टली कि हमने क्या क्या कर चुके हैं तो उसमें हम पहले आंसर सोच के जा रहे हैं कि हम ये दे सकते हैं या ये देंगे या जीटीओ में ऐसा करेंगे.
Understood. Like, see, preparedness, no amount of preparedness is, too much. You can keep preparing all your life and still there will be some lacking. So, if you're doing it in the right manner, then it is good. Being over prepared as in तुम्हें सब पता है तो मैं सब practice करके जाऊंगा सब already prepare करके जाऊंगा. These tests, obviously, you can't practice your TAT stories beforehand. You can't think of all the words and have some sample sentences. Psychological tests, you cannot go with that conventional practice. Here, practice is different. You need to understand the logic of the selection and try to give desirable responses. And practice with a group and get a feedback of your qualities and try to work on them. That is preparedness. Practicing for each test of the SSB, having multiple mocks of the same, and trying to, brainwash your self in order to impress the assessors, that is wrong preparation. That will harm you. But regular preparation, see, SSB preparation should be working upon yourself. Simple. If you are doing that, whatever extent you do, you invest 24 hours in that for how many ever years you want, it's good. But if you are thinking, I'll try to mug up sentences or I'll try to prepare answers beforehand for all the interview questions, obviously you cannot do that because do you know what the interviewing officer will ask? You have a general idea what kind of questions will be asked and some common questions but you don't know everything. There will be some out of the blue questions, so you cannot completely prepare yourself for those things. Improve your qualities, try to overcome your weaknesses, and go as a confident, prepared person. That is being prepared. In that sense, there's nothing like over preparedness. Any amount of preparation is good. But what you told कि इंटरव्यू आंसर्स पहले से ही रट के जाना या साइकोलॉजी टेस्ट में पहले ही प्रिपेयर करके जाना, दैट इज हार्मफुल. दैट विल seriously damage your chances.
ओके सर. सर मींस साइट में एसडीटी और ब्लैंक स्टोरी तो प्रिपेयर करके जा सकते हैं ना?
Yes, that is acceptable.
Okay, sir.
So my question is that
My second question is that
Ask.
how to develop
if I am unable to give any answer to any question, is it a negative impact? Like in a series of questions of 5 to 6 questions, I am not able to give answer. So
obviously you cannot forget all of them or you cannot forget half of them. Like one or two if you forget, or let's say 2-3 of the questions you forget, it's okay. No one is expecting you to be a superhero or a robot who can remember everything in one go. But obviously you must be aware of the question series and basically you must be at least answering half of them or a little more. No big negative impression is there because everyone knows you are nervous and those questions were asked in a sequential manner. It's expected that you answer them all, but even if you forget 2-3 of them, it's okay. You can honestly say ki, please repeat your questions which I have missed, sir, and he'll be happy to help you.
okay.
Next.
And if we had any failure in life, like having low marks in any exam or like that, is it a negative impact? Like the interviewer will grill us on that mostly.
Grilling is to check whether your qualities are good enough or not. It is not grilling in that sense. You take it as grilling because you have failed in your life at some point of time. Cross questioning happens to inquire about the qualities you are possessing and why certain things happen in your life. Like, let's say, low academics, he wants to know why that happened. If it was a genuine reason for because of which your marks were low, it's acceptable. So it is just an inquiry, it is not grilling. So when cross questioning is done in an aggressive manner, or when the interviewing officer shouts on you or kind of checks you when you are trying to bluff, you treat it as grilling. So let's say whatever things you have done in life, you haven't scored good marks or you haven't participated in any activities when given an opportunity also. That, yes, has a bit of negative impact, but you should have compensated it in some other aspects. Like, let's say you're weak in academics, you should have done something else in life, or you should have improved at least. And your OER speaks a lot about your current intelligence levels. So even if you have scored like 60% in 10th and if your OER is 1, he knows you have come a long way, you have improved very much, and at the current level you are good, you are intelligent. So everyone is interested in what you are right now and what you are likely to become after military training. So your history is just to check whether you have come to that expected standards or not. It doesn't have a big impact, your history, but at the current level, you should have overcome those weaknesses and you should be good when you appear for the SSB, those 5 days.
I have a same
Okay, sir.
question regarding my percentage in class 12.
Well, hold
I,
here.
should I
I
ask?
told you procedure. Mute yourself. Yuvraj, continue.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. So, sir, dedication and more eagerness to join defense forces is a wrong thing, or means like I noticed that. So, is it a right thing or something else?
There's no wrong thing here. The more motivated you are, the more passionate you are, the better it is.
Like, sir, he asked you that if you were not recommended in this attempt, what will you do? You don't have any more chances to do. So, if I tell him that answer, that I will prepare for CDS and look forward to join forces. So, is it
So it is a
required
good
or
answer.
something
See,
else?
obviously, you should have some backup also. You should not keep your entire life dependent on this because you are not certain about this. Now, you can fail all your attempts and your age criteria can be coming in place, or you may be medical out, or you may be merit out. There are multiple things. So any logical person will have some good backup at all this doesn't happen. So he is interested to know whether you have that common sense to have some backup or not.
Okay, sir.
It is good to be motivated. You can tell
And
him again and again, and I'll wish to join this only. But if that doesn't happen, then this is my backup. So that should be your answer.
okay, sir. And sir, my last question is that in
Hmm.
psych, is the more number of VAT and SRT required, or the quality matters more, or both?
Quality matters always, but in WIT you cannot afford to skip any. You cannot afford to like leave any. SRTs, anything above 35, ideally above 40, let's say 35 is also a small number. Anything between 40 to 45, or let's say if you are quick enough in writing, 40 to 50 also is a good number. But you should not skip anything in between. It should be in sequence 1 to 45, 1 to 50, I say. In WATs, you should be writing everything because some things can be inferred from them. You are not able to manage your time, or you are trying to think a lot and kind of faking your responses, which is why you're not giving your first response. Or many other judgments can be made once you skip your WATs. Or your stamina is judged because you are not able to write those sentences in a quick manner. So it's good to give all 60 WATs and around 45 SRTs.
Okay, sir.
All right.
And sir, what
Go on.
strategy like to get screening according to your experience?
Sorry.
A strategy means short strategy to get screening in SSB
I have put up a detailed
according to
video.
your point of view.
I've done a live session on this. It's on YouTube. You just go through it. I've explained everything about screening in, what should be the right approach, and what is the marking procedure, what are the common reasons for rejection, how to overcome them. I have covered this all in that video. You can go through it on YouTube. It's available.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir, for your time.
You're welcome. Next, Deepak Thakur.
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind, yaar.
Sir, I just wanted to ask how important is book reading in SSB?
Not very important. There are people who do not have reading habits and still they make it. But reading has a good impact on your overall personality. It trains you in your imagination capabilities, in your general awareness, many things. When you start reading, you'll see a change in yourself. So, a person who is well read has these qualities in a better, at a better level. So that is being checked. Those qualities are being checked. Not any particular habit like reading or running or those things do not matter. The qualities which you gain through those activities, those are being checked. So when you say you are a good reader, it is inferred that yes, these qualities must be good in him, and even they are checked in other tests. So that is the logic. It's not important to have some particular thing. Even if you are not a good reader, if you do not have that interest in reading, it's okay. But basic things, obviously, you must be aware of. In your lecturate in your GD, what will you speak if you do not read newspapers or if you have not read anything about the general happenings around you? So those basic things are a must. But reading as a hobby is not necessary. You may or may not possess.
Sir, what sort of books should I start reading?
Anything which you like. There's no particular genre of books which is SSB or something like that. Self-help books, personality development books, and all will give you some insights about yourself, and you will implement lifestyle changes if you read them. So for SSB, those books will help you. And military related books, like there are these Paramveer Chakra stories or some good military histories to books. So if you read them, you get into that grid and you start preparing for the SSB. So that will help you in particular for the selection board. Otherwise, any book reading is good, like whatever genre, fiction, non-fiction, anything.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Next, Samarjeet Singh, please. One second here, Samar. Guys, all of you are on your videos here. I'm not able to see any of you. Please, let us keep this more interactive. All of you, please turn on your videos. Yes, Samar. Samarjeet Singh.
Hello, Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind, there.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yes, you're audible. Tell.
Sir, आवाज नहीं आ रही क्या sir?
You're audible. Speak up.
Okay. So, sir, my question is that like I'm preparing for NDA.
Hmm.
So, sir, I have given my NDA to 2022 in when I was in my class 12.
Hmm.
But I didn't give the April attempt, and I'm preparing for
Okay.
September attempt, this September attempt. So,
Okay.
will interviewer ask me question that why didn't I give my April attempt?
So, what is the answer? Why didn't you give?
Prepared for that at that time.
So, it is a thing which will be
Because
asked.
I was preparing for only for my boards and not.
So, you can tell that I was busy preparing for boards and didn't have enough time to prepare for NDA written. So, I didn't give that attempt. You can be honest in that. No big
And
deal like that.
because I have scored good marks in boards also. I have scored 87%
Good.
in PCM.
All right. You can say it.
And sir, like you are saying that we have to write 60 words in WAT. But
Hmm.
what if, sir, we don't know any word meaning? Like if a word comes which we hadn't heard about it.
Understood. Like first thing is your vocabulary should be good so that you attempt all 60. Usually the words are easy only. There are no big, tough words being expected. No one wants you to be of Shashi Tharoor level. Basic English words are only put up. But one or two may be there which are a little tricky. If you don't know the meaning, you can smartly write some sentence even without knowing the meaning. Like I did this during my SSB. When I didn't know the meaning of a word, I wrote the word and this is a word I do not know the meaning of, something like that. But that's a क्या बोलते हैं खुद्दू सा चटकी. But even if you do that, it's all right. Otherwise, you can just leave it. the psychologist knows that it's a tough word which everyone is not expected to know the meaning of. It's all right if you leave it, but instead of leaving it, is better to write something. So you can write, I don't know the meaning of this word, in a good manner. Or there are some other things also which you can do when you don't.
Yes.
You can still write a sentence on a word. So try to do that, or take an educated guess. If the word is close to something you may know, you may guess that this might be the meaning. So write something of that sort. It's okay to guess if you don't know the meaning.
And so, today, Anchal sent sample. So there was a girl. She wrote about that meditation. I don't remember, but she didn't use that word. But her sentence was related to that
You don't do that.
word.
It is
Those
a
kinds of
common thing.
sentences also.
Understood, understood. It is not mandatory to use that word. Whatever thought comes to mind, you can write. It is desirable to use that word because that way you are actually relating completely to that word. Even otherwise, if you don't include the word, or if you include some other forms of the word, like let's say, let me take an example. Love is the word. You can write loving, lovingly. Different forms of that word you can use. It's not very strict that you need to use the word in that same form. You can modify it,
No,
or
so it's not like a loving.
I'm just giving an example here.
Yeah,
Just to say कि you can use other forms of the word.
okay.
All right. Next, Om Tripathi.
Uh, Good evening, sir.
Good evening, yaar.
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind.
Sir, my question is regarding PPDT and after part 2.
Mhm.
Then the question, sir, question मेरा ये कि जैसे हम लोग अपना PPDT लिखते हैं ना सर, और स्टोरी अपने को लिखती है, तो स्टोरी जो है अपन प्रैक्टिकल बेसिस पे लिखते हैं कि मतलब जैसे अपन को दिख रहा है कि गाड़ी चल रही है, एक बच्चा गाड़ी के नीचे आ रहा है, तो मान लीजिए उसको मैं पॉजिटिव पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से लिखूंगा कि नेगेटिव पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से लिखूंगा, या फिर प्रैक्टिकली सोचूंगा उसके लिए?
There's nothing like positive or negative. First thing, whatever you perceive out of that picture, if you write in a logical sequence, in a realistic manner, it is all positive only. If there is some crisis situation happening, if there is some rape happening, if there is some murder happening, if there is something of that nature, like if there's a fire accident, you think that this is a negative picture, so a story will be negative. There's nothing like negative picture. It is a stimulus. They want to see how you react to that stimulus.
Yeah.
So you make a story out of it. You That is a challenge given to you. In these kind of stories, it is actually easier to write a so-called positive story.
Yes, sir.
When you have a crisis at hand, you come out of it successfully by using resources at your disposal. You tackle it with your abilities and whatever help you have, resources or people, etc. And you tackle that situation. So you come out as a successful person. So how can a story be more positive than this? This is a good opportunity to write, positive stories when there is
Yes, sir.
some, the so-called negative picture shown.
Yes, sir. सर जैसे मान लीजिए अगर उनको नेगेटिव पिक्चर मिल गई, अपने को PPDT में भी नेगेटिव पिक्चर मिल रही है और टैट में भी मिल रही है, सपोज करिए सर, तो अगर हम लोग को नेगेटिव ही स्टोरी लिखेंगे तो उसका कैंडिडेट पे इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा कि नहीं पड़ेगा?
What is a negative story? I don't understand this logic. What
मतलब
do you
सर
mean by negative?
जैसे अपन हम लोगों ने कंसीव किया, मतलब परसीव किया उस स्टोरी, उस पिक्चर्स को देख के, जो पिक्चर शो कर रहा है अपने को, चाहे वो
So
टैट
when there is some negative stimulus being shown, I told you, it's a good opportunity for you to solve it and come out of that problem. So that is a positive story only to a negative picture. Actually,
Okay.
this is all very rudimentary. There are no things like positive story, positive picture, negative picture. All these are
Okay, sir.
myths. In order to explain to you, I'm using these words. If at all, according to you, there is a negative picture shown, write a positive story around it. Tackle that negative situation being shown and try to make the situation positive in the end. Simple.
सर और जैसे अपना PIQ फॉर्म रहता है, जो फॉर्म रहता है, उसमें अपन जो लिखते, मतलब जो क्वेश्चंस होते हैं, उसमें अपन की जो को करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज रहती है, तो उसमें हर एक स्मॉल अचीवमेंट्स मैटर करते हैं उसमें सर?
See, it is not like I played Coco with my neighbor, so I'll write that also. Utna level to it's not good to include. Like let's say you played badminton with your sister for 2 or 3 days, and you want to write badminton as a hobby. That is not
Yes, sir.
acceptable.
Yes,
You
sir.
should have played it at least for a few months at some level, like even with your friends near your home is acceptable. But you must be actually into that game. You should have played it for few months at least. You can
Okay, sir.
include those kind of things. It's not necessary that you should have played it at a professional level, inter college, inter district, interstate, national, international. Not required. You should have played that game. You should be able to answer some questions if asked about that game. That's all.
ओके सर। और सर ये कॉन्फ्रेंस जब होता है अपना, उसमें अपन कैसे कामली कैसे रिपोर्ट करते हैं, मतलब उसको थोड़ा सा आइडिया दे दीजिएगा।
Sorry, what report?
जैसे अपना कॉन्फ्रेंस होता है, मान लीजिए अपन कॉन्फ्रेंस के चक्कर में फंस गए, कॉन्फ्रेंस इनके चक्कर में।
कॉन्फ्रेंस पे प्रेशर सबको होती है. Everyone feels nervous because your recommendation is being decided there. Everyone is nervous about it, and there are so many officers with all their medals in uniform setting, so it is a little intimidating for a candidate going in for the first time there, or even for repeaters it gets intimidating. You must be able to maintain your calm. They are not devils. They are not there to eat you up. So you must be aware of the fact that you have come there for getting recommended, or to show your qualities and to let them decide whether you are fit or not. Keep that in mind and just take it easy. You
Okay,
think
sir.
too much about recommendation, you think too much about what they'll ask in the conference or how I should answer. What if I answer something and they take it negatively and reject me? You think of all these things. That is why that nervousness levels increase. Not required. Just keep your calm. Do not think about recommendation. That's the best thing you can do while giving your SSB.
Okay,
Do
sir.
not think about the result. Just enjoy the process. Go there, do all the tests as instructed. Listen carefully to the instructions. Just
Okay.
perform to the best of your abilities and leave the judgment to them. Nothing from your end. That is a very good manner to approach SSB, and doing that, your chances will actually increase.
Yes, sir.
Thinking more about recommendation or what this other person told, being over prepared, these kind of things will harm you. Just keep
Yes,
it
sir.
simple.
सर बेसिकली मैं रिपीटर हूँ, एक तरह का रिपीटर हूँ TS 46 का, 22 SSB भोपाल से मैं। तो सर हम लोग में फिश मार्केट बन गया था सर, तो फिश मार्केट में टैकल कैसे करना है GD नरेशन का टाइम में PPDT के?
See, fish market create कैसे होती है? तुम लोगों की वजह से तो होती है. No, it is not like you are being sent somewhere and there's a chaotic situation there and you are told to manage stuff there. Chaos is being created by you only, your group only.
Yes,
One
sir.
thing you can do is before the PPDT itself, you can talk among each other and come to a consensus ki हाँ, we'll not do that. But that never happens. You'll say okay, okay in the waiting area, and as soon as you enter the PPDT room, you'll start shouting at each other, and that is there. You perceive this as a competition. That is one thing which is creating this fish market situation.
Yes,
It
sir.
is not a competition. The more you cooperate with each other, you are actually increasing your chance also and their chances also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Keep that in mind, and you need not get into that chaos and lose your calm and try to be aggressive or shouting. Just maintain your composure. Whenever there is opportunity to speak, you can speak up. But when you are talking, talk sense. Just to put your points, you should not blabber something, or just to for the sake of speaking, you should not speak. You should have some content in your delivery, and it should be helpful to the group.
Okay,
So
sir.
keep that in mind, and everyone faces this, so it's not a new thing. Even the assessors know there will be chaos. So they will take measures accordingly. They'll split the group into two and probably give each of them 5-10 minutes to discuss. That they'll take care of. You
जी
need
सर.
to put in your qualities and show them that you are good. That's all.
Okay,
Your
sir.
group has no impact on you.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Next, Harsh.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, yeah.
Sir, actually, I have this doubt that I have been to multiple coachings of SSB,
Mhm.
and no offense to them, they all teach us very good. But I am now getting confused because everyone teaches slightly different. So I'm getting confused
Okay.
on in my concepts only. So I
Mhm.
want to unlearn and basically focus on one certain thing which should help me to grow. So could you
That
advise
is
me?
the biggest thing happening here. Yeah, like whenever some repeater candidates come to me for mentorship, I have to invest more time in their unlearning than learning because they have so much of crap in their brain already. All the misconceptions, all the myths, all wrong guidance they've got from multiple places. In order to unlearn them first, it requires a lot of efforts. They need to get rid of all the wrong concepts they have in mind, and they should start fresh. It's a challenge because they are all deeply ingrained in your brain. It's difficult to get them out. It will come with time. Once you like, see, whatever they have taught you, it should be acceptable to your brain. Think with logic whether this will actually work. Are the SSB assessors so foolish that if I use these chotu-motu tips and tricks, they'll recommend me? What are they looking for? They are looking for your qualities. They are looking for a person who will be suitable to become an officer. So those qualities are being checked through these tests. That's all. So preparing for each test, having some techniques for each test, and trying to manipulate your way through the selection system, that will never work. Most of the coaching academies sadly teach you those things only, like how to write stories, how to perform in each task of GP, like how to answer in the interview. Those things do not actually matter. Your qualities, your preparedness, and your suitability for that profile which you are applying for, that job profile. Only these things matter. You may have performed very bad in your GTO tasks, two, three of them, or you may have completely screwed up your SRTs in your psychology tests, and still you will get recommended. If you are good enough, if you have shown those qualities in some other tests, and overall, if they feel like, yes, this person can be taken and be trained as an officer, they are taking a call on your overall personality. These tests are just methods to do that. So your performance in those tests have no big impact. The better you perform, the more chances you have. That's all. But 90% of it is your qualities, what you are doing in your life, what your personality is, how you have developed yourself and overcome your weaknesses, and how ready you are for that military training and later on the officer profile which you are going to, take. That is what they are interested in. Your performance in the 5 days has no big impact. So most of the coaching academies focuses on those 5 days and what you need to do. That is just 10% of your preparation. 90% of this is your lifestyle, all these things which you need to take care of and overcome your weaknesses. So focus on that and reduce your thinking of these 5 days and what happens here, how to impress the assessors, all these things. Start unlearning. Stop thinking about them. Automatically you will get better. Your chances will improve.
Okay, so I have one more question that in GDs, actually my voice is not of that much amplitude that I cut through the discussions that is going on in the group. So it often happens that someone cuts through my voice and I get stopped in between. So how to tackle with that?
You need to get a little aggressive yourself. It doesn't work. Yeah, I'll be very naive, I'll be soft, and I'll expect the group to be nice with me. That doesn't happen because whatever we say, it is not a competitive thing. Everyone knows this, but still, they want to show themselves to the assessors. They want to project their qualities, so they get conscious of that and they start behaving aggressive. It is bound to happen. So you must be able to do that yourself. You must be able to speak by raising your voice. And when someone tries to cut you, you must be able to negate that by actually putting your point in an aggressive manner. That is an essential quality of a military leader. You can't be a softie. You must be able to put your point. You must be able to convince the other person that you are better than, obviously, not in that sense, ki you are better than him. But automatically, when you are good, the group will accept you as the best. So try to be that person. Get a little more aggressive than what you are currently. Put your point. You are supposed to become a fighter, right? So start being a fighter from now itself.
Okay, so and my last question is regarding sir time management issues
Mhm.
because we face this issue currently. Like currently, I'm doing coaching for CDS, AFCAT, and I'm also joining your batch classes. I also used to make post for you, sir, if you remember me.
Mhm.
Yeah. So now I'm not able to manage my time. So any tips for that, sir?
See, we have 24 hours at hand, and whatever things you told are very easy. CDS exam, you just have to clear GK cutoff. English and maths are very easy. Everyone knows this. Compare any other government exam with CDS and AFCAT. Tell me which one is more difficult to crack. Definitely, defense exams are the easiest because here you just need to clear the cutoff. Later, SSB is the thing which will decide your final selection or not. So, written exams compared to any other exam, even compared to your college exams, defense written exams are easier. So, you must be able to give these 2 to 3 hours of your day to that, SSB preparation honestly doesn't require much of a time at all. 1 or 2 hours investment every day for whatever weaknesses you have. Let's say you are already good in your English speaking, your general awareness, your other qualities. You don't actually have to take part in these sessions also. If you think you're already good in all these, picture perception, how you discuss with people, all these things will improve with practice, which is why I recommend, even if you think you are good, keep, which is why I recommend you to do that. But it is not necessary. If you feel you are already good at them, you don't have to attend if you are confident enough. And coming to other things, physical fitness and all, it is a lifestyle change. SSB is not expecting you to prepare specially for it. If you're leading a good life, like physical fitness should be in your routine otherwise also, even if you're not a defense aspirant. It is a good lifestyle to have some physical activity in your daily routine. So try to do that. Work for yourself. SSB is only looking for people who train themselves, who know themselves, who can improve their weaknesses and come as prepared people. So the more you work on yourself, the more chances you are having in getting recommended.
Okay, sir, got it.
And, that is not an excuse that I am not able to do, because CDS, AFCAT, and SSB are very simple things to prepare. Compare with other people who are having jobs and preparing for UPSC, or having a job and preparing for these competitive exams like CAT and GMAT. So compared to them, we have simpler lives. So we can't, give excuses in this only. You need to do it.
Okay, sir, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next, Ayush Chauhan.
Jain sir.
Jai Hind, yaar.
Sir, so my question is, if you are preparing for the PPDT, so in the regular basis, writing the stories, so how could we check the stories in the right manner, like the SSRs, or we can say the SSRs check in the right manner. So how can we do this?
See, you don't need to assess yourself. Once you know the basic rules, you know the structure of the story, you know how to present yourself. What you can check in yourself are the basic things like your presentation, how well you have written, have you followed all the rules, have you completed in time in those 4 minutes given to you, have you actually gone about introducing the characters, following the story sequence, and completed it with a conclusion. These basic things which anyone is expected to do. English communication is something you can check yourself for grammatical errors. Your time management is something you can check yourself. How exactly they are analyzing my qualities through them, should I check myself and improve on those particular things? That is not your concern. It is out of your understanding. So it's better not to get into that. The more you try to crack the system and try to know what exactly they are looking through these stories, how I should try and fake them so that it gets impressive, it does damage to you. The more you think about these things, the more you are manipulating your natural responses. It will be easily caught by a psychologist. So do not do all those things. Just think about basic things like the rules. You know the rules for all the tests. Just go through my series of posts which I've put on each test. I've told you what kind of responses are desirable and how to improve those quality of responses. In this video also I've explained about PPDT in that screening in Wala Insta live session. You can ask me anything in particular key, is this story good? That is why I conduct these assessment sessions also. No? I'll tell you like where you can improve the quality of your responses. If I tell you like do not include these particular words, it will show that you are anxious, and other psychological things associated with them, you will start keeping that in mind and you'll try to avoid those, and you'll actually I'll be training you to fake yourself. That is not desirable. That will do more damage to you than help you. So I don't recommend that. You don't have to assess yourself. You don't need to depend on anyone else to assess you. Just follow the ground rules, improve yourself in your real life. Your responses will naturally improve themselves. Your TAT stories will improve, your WAT responses will improve, your SRTs or any other, even in your GTO tasks, your responses will improve when you are naturally good. So try to build yourself. Do not think about what responses you are giving. That is a side effect. The actual work you need to do is on yourself. So focus on this area, not that.
Sir, that series is available on the YouTube now.
What is available?
Sir, that series PPDTs and other tests.
Yes, yes. All the Instagram posts which I have put recently, SSB task series, it covers task each. In YouTube, I have put about screening in so far. Other videos we are preparing, they will come online soon. But as of now, you can go through everything about screening in. It covers some part of TAT, WAT also, because PPDT and TAT are same. So there's nothing in special for TAT. So if you go through them, you'll get a basic idea. Other tests, if you want to get some insights, you can watch these other videos where I have done psychology assessments of some candidates and put those recordings, right? In that, I have explained, like in WAT, what kind of responses could have been given, or how could have SRTs been better. I have explained to them during their assessment. So looking at their mistakes, you can try to improve your responses. So go through those videos if you want more insights. Otherwise, you are all good to go. When you improve yourself, your responses will naturally improve.
Okay. Sir, my another question is, if the interviewer is asking the technical questions, if we are not knowing that, how then what should we do? We have to just skip, or you can say
I've
we
already
don't
told
know.
you this. If you know, well and good. If you don't know, you can honestly say, I'm not aware of this, sir. No one is judging you. Basic things you are expected to know. So it is good you revise your core subjects and go prepared. If you don't know, if some question is being asked which you're not aware of, it's okay to say, I don't know. Simple.
Sir, in the means the 10 plus 2 technical entry schemes and Navy Tech, these technical questions are basically asked since somewhat or not.
You don't need to worry about them. That's what I'm telling you. You can prepare the basics, like technical questions, as in 10 plus 2, what you can expect. Basic questions about your physics, chemistry, maths only, right? You are not a technical person already. You are not a BTech graduate when you go for your 10 plus 2 entries. So very basics are only expected. Like let's say a person asks you to tell Newton's second law, any person should be able to answer that. It is not a hyper technical question. It's a very simple question based on your core subjects. So you must be a well-read person. You must be able to answer them. Even if you can't, it's not a big negative impression. It's okay.
Thank you, sir. Enjoying.
You're welcome, Jai Hind. Next, Rajan Kumar.
Jain sir.
Jai Hind.
So my question is regarding as being a fresher, how should I start preparing for SSB?
Okay. You first go through all my Instagram stories and posts, like one by one. Just get to know about the selection system, what they are looking for, and how you need to start preparing yourself. Once you get a basic idea, then you start participating in all our group sessions. You schedule your interview and psych assessment. I'll tell you which qualities you must improve upon. Basic things you must be already aware of. Everything is available on the internet. So you should
Sir,
start with.
I tried to know that, and I also noted that, and I'm very get as being an state board, my English is not fluent that much, so that I feel such much problem in group discussion also. How should I improve that?
It is not that bad actually. When you are speaking, your English is good only. You are judging yourself by saying your English is weak, but you are good. You are not confident enough, or you are not thinking you are good enough. Your English is good. Trust me. When I listen to you, your English is good. So just keep practicing. It will improve to a further level. You will get better. First thing is obviously to be aware of your own strengths and weaknesses. By doing these SWOT analysis and using this Johari tool, you can get to know where you are lacking and start working upon them. That is the only approach to prepare for SSB.
Yes,
Not
sir.
taking your tests, not getting to know what they are checking for, not trying to train yourself for each task. That is not preparation. Improving your weaknesses, becoming a good overall person in your daily life. That is actual preparation for SSB. So do that.
Yes, sir. Sir, one more question I am having that when I doing VAT, I am not able to think that which actually required. I basically think normal sentences, which I don't think that much it is good.
Like, give me an example.
So today's question I did got in my WhatsApp. I had seen that there is many words which actually I know, but I can't able to make that much able of sentences which actually required. I had seen many other students which had made that sentences that are actually very good, which I think that this is very nice. So I think that how should I improve that much quality?
See, nice as in, is there, okay, okay, I understood. If their quality of responses is better than you, it
Yes,
doesn't
sir.
mean you're bad. Whatever responses you are giving, they are from your natural ability, from your background, from the level of education you have received, the family background you come from, the kind of environment you've been brought up in. The responses you give are good for your background. The responses they give are good for their background. So there's no comparison that way. No one is taking your responses against some other person's. Every person is unique, and whatever responses you give are correct and good enough for your ability. Yeah, are you able to do justice to your background or not matters. Let's say you are telling yourself that you are from a state board background, and whatever other things you know about yourself more. That
Yes, sir.
am I doing justice? Can I be better than this? Ask yourself this, and there's nothing like perfection. Every person can improve themselves. So be on that continuous self improvement journey. You will keep improving, and do not compare with other people. Their responses are theirs. Try to improve yourself. Like learn from them. Look at their responses and see what best practices they are using. Look at other videos of people who have given their responses. Try to learn from them. Don't compare yourself and think that you are not up to their level. That is.
Oh, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Next, Anuj Deshmukh.
Jain sir.
Jain,
Sir, I've
yes.
been to 4 SSB so far and I've been conferenced out in all of them. So
Okay.
I have done my aeronautical engineering recently, and whenever I go for Army SSB, so since I have a keen interest in flying, so I end up saying that I want to go for the Army Aviation Corps, in, even in the technical entries. So is it looked bad upon, like if you go and say that you want to go for Army Aviation Corps in technical entries, or should you stick
No.
to technical core only?
They know that you are passionate in flying branch. You have done aeronautical engineering, and you've been to Air Force SSBs also, I suppose.
For Navy pilot, I've been to twice. AFSB will be there in September.
So, with your background and with the level of motivation you're showing, they know that you are more interested in aviation only. So, it's better to accept that, and it's not a bad thing to say you are interested in aviation. Many people say that. And for your information, technical guys have more chances of getting aviation than the other chaps. From signals, from artillery, from EME, from these arms, which are mostly from technical entry schemes, they get better chances at aviation because aviation is a technical job in itself. You need to be
Right.
very good in physics and maths, and it has good amount of technical acumen involved. So people are preferred. You can openly say it's a good thing when you're already motivated into some branch of the army, and you are bringing in some core aspects of your
Right.
engineering also, right? You are an aeronautical engineer, so you are easier to train as a pilot than some other person who doesn't have this background. So even the army wants people who have background, in sync with their job profile. It's a good thing.
So my second question is that, like I recently graduated in June, so I do have a job offer, but it is not related to my field as of now. And
Hmm.
my backup option is to go for CPL, commercial pilot license. So in these few upcoming SSBs, if I show that this is my backup option, and currently I'm not working anywhere, so is it looked bad upon, or is it okay as of now?
No. See, you are taking your chances at defense services. Meanwhile,
Right.
you have a good backup of becoming a commercial pilot. It's a good thing. But currently, if you're not doing anything, if you say I'm thinking of going for this pilot entry, and meanwhile I'm giving government exams to get into defense, it's a good thing. You know, you have a clear plan, and if
Yeah.
not for defense services, you have a good backup option. That is all that is being checked. It's
Right,
simple.
sir.
You
Hmm.
can say openly, ki, this is my backup. Currently, I'm trying for defense services. If at all it doesn't happen, then commercial pilot is my backup.
Right. So my next question is that, like, repeaters are often asked that why were you not recommended in previous attempts? So should we answer it in terms of what went wrong in the tasks, or should we answer it in terms of the qualities we were lacking? Like I get confused in that part
The
sometimes.
better, an ideal answer would be talking in terms of the qualities you are lacking in, not with respect to the tasks you messed up in. Because everyone knows you didn't get recommended, not because of the performance,
Right.
because of your
Yeah.
qualities you didn't get recommended. So if you are aware of them and if you are making an effort to improve on those qualities, then it is a good thing. It's a desirable thing. People want that from a candidate. You should have recognized your weaknesses, not where you went wrong in the SSB. It
Yeah.
is 100% that way. You did not get recommended not because you messed up in some task. It is because you showed overall lacking of some quality to some extent. That's why you were not recommended. So recognize that what made you get conferenced out or screened out, and work on those qualities. And it's okay
Right.
to say which task you messed up in also, because sometimes when you do some mistakes, that also has an impact on the recommendation. But a better response and the actual answer to this question is to tell your quality weaknesses which you had, which made you not get recommended.
Right. Sir, and last doubt would be that, like in GTO, I usually start with the initiative that because I am able to solve the PGT and other tasks. So, is it wrong that you are not carrying the load most of the time, or is it seen as an over dominance kind of a thing?
Nothing like that. You have your core strengths, like leading the team, giving ideas, or motivating the team. That is your strength. Some people will have some other strengths. They are good physically, so they'll be
Yeah.
able to carry the load and they'll be helping you from behind. Everyone has their strengths, and there's nothing like this will have a good impression, that will have a bad impression. Nothing. Be your natural self, and whatever you do naturally in your life, you do there only. You don't have to think about all these things. There's nothing negative or positive. Whatever you do is positive only. You take
Right.
initiative, you go ahead and you give ideas, you perform. That is actually a desirable thing, because they need people who can give ideas, who can lead teams.
Yeah.
Carrying load and implementing the task, your men will do once you become an officer. Your men are supposed to do that. As a
Right.
leader, your task is to give ideas, to make a plan, to motivate them, to lead them, and to ensure the task is completed. That is your responsibility. So try to show that as an officer candidate, you are supposed to do that. People who just carry the load, who just follow others' ideas, obviously you know whether they are fit to get recommended or not.
So, and last thing about from what I have figured out in my all attempts is that I do get desperate and lack patience in terms of the results of my actions. So that is something which affects my task knowingly or unknowingly. So how do I tell that to
It
the
is
assessor?
natural. It happened with me also, and same thing here. I got conferenced out 4 times, and fifth time I got recommended. So I'm
Yes.
hoping happens with you as well.
Hope so.
It is bound to happen. See, everyone is very motivated. You are thinking about it daily. You are going there for that one plus mark. So you are desperate naturally. How much ever you try to keep it down and not let it affect your performance, it will happen to a small extent. Try to keep it as less as possible. That's all. You cannot 100% negate it. You cannot say I'm not desperate at all and I'll be happy and perform. That will never happen.
But
So
while answering that, you can be frank about this with the IO in terms of that, yes, this was the reason why which was going wrong.
yes, that is one of the biggest reasons people get conferenced out. Being too
Yeah.
desperate and overperforming and kind of losing their natural self. It is a big reason. So you can say that.
Right. That will be all. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Pratyush Kumar,
Yes, Jain sir.
Jain here. Yeah, when you are asking questions, at least turn on your videos here. And all of
Yes.
you, others, turn on your videos, please. Yes, Pratyush, go ahead.
Sir, my question is regarding the PPDT. For example, if we saw the picture of a station that there are so many characters having different modes, different age, different gender. So how to write that in the box, like the number of character, gender, age, mood, how to
See,
write
if there
that?
are multiple people, if there is a big crowd, obviously you will not write everything. Only the prominent characters which you see in the foreground. Like as soon as you see the picture, there are at least one or two prominent characters which strike your eye first. So make them the main characters. Write their attributes like age, mood, and gender. The other characters in the background you may neglect. Like if there are many in number, like 4 to 5, you can still write. If there are
Yes.
more than that, if there are like let's say 6 to 10 or even more than that, if there's a big crowd standing and a person is addressing them, obviously you will not cater to everyone. You'll write about the prominent characters only.
Yes, sir. Sir, my next question is regarding the length of self-description in the psych test
Okay,
of all the paras 1 to 5.
5 to 6 lines in each. 5 to 6 sentences, not lines, sorry.
5 to 6 sentences.
And ideally, one line is almost one sentence. So approximately 5 to 6 lines, equivalent 5 to 6 sentences.
Okay, sir. And sir, my next question is that, sir, people says that don't let assessors in the SSB know that you have done coaching. Why they said this so, sir?
It's not a bad thing. See, when you have taken coaching, it shows that you have been serious, you have gone and put an effort to improve yourself. But most of the coaching academies do wrong guidance and they know it. The assessors know that you have taken some coaching and you are performing as per what they have taught you, and that is not your natural performance. So if you are
Yes.
getting good PAT stories, that is not coming from your brain. It is coming from some coaching where you have read some good stories and you are replicating the same. So that way they are not able to get your natural qualities through those responses you give. So that way they try to see whether you are a coached candidate, or like if a coached candidate is coming in, it is assumed that maybe these responses are not natural. Maybe he has been trained to give these responses. So it will be checked further, and to make sure these are your natural responses, some other background things will happen. So that way it makes the job a little tougher for you and for the assessor. But if you have taken good coaching where people have told you about your weaknesses and tried to improve your self from within, not your outside things, all your responses, all the performances you give in your GTO, or how you speak in the interview, all these are external things. Training should not be done on those external things. It should be done from within. When you are trained inside, when you are good naturally, these responses will improve as an outcome. So that should be the ideal coaching approach for SSB, which
Yes.
sadly is not happening. So the assessors know that he has not improved himself. He has just come to give his ideal responses and try to get through. So that way it's a negative thing. And honestly, whatever you say, I have not taken coaching also, the assessors are smart enough to know whether you are a coach person or not, because whatever natural abilities you have as per your background and your performance and what you are showing, like the quality of stories you are giving and the ideal so-called, whatever question is asked, this is the answer. Everyone knows coaching academies preach these practices. The assessors have seen all the coached candidates, they have seen natural candidates, they have interviewed, hundreds, thousands like you. So they are
Yes.
aware. So it's better to confess whether you have taken coaching or not, and it's not a bad thing also taking coaching. However, we say ki it's a wrong practice, they teach you all wrong things, they try to improve your responses from the outside and not train you inside. Whatever being said and criticized about, whatever coaching you take, it will add some benefit to you. At least 1% improvement will happen. If your
Yes, sir.
responses are improving, that is also some thing improved, right? Although your inner self has not got a big change, at least you're putting your responses in a better manner. That way the assessor will be able to check your qualities more deeply. So at least that benefit you've got. So if you are interested in taking coaching, if you feel it will help you, you may freely take, and you can say the same thing to the assessor. Nothing like it's a negative impression or you should hide it from the assessor. First thing, you cannot hide anything.
Yes,
Get
sir.
get this thing out of your brains. You cannot hide anything. Whatever small thing also you have in mind, I'll fake it, it will come out. So it is better to be honest, because integrity is one thing which is prime. A person, however good he is, if he has shown some sign of lack of honesty, lack of integrity, he'll definitely get rejected. So why mess up your chances when you're otherwise good?
Yes.
Be honest and say whatever is true.
And so my next question is that I am a student of PCM background, but my favorite subject is geography. Will it make any
No,
negative
no,
impact on
no.
interview?
That's all. No. Your favorite subject and what you have taken may be different. No problems.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Pratyush.
Yes, sir.
Acha, it was you. Okay, okay, I've answered you. Ankit Kumar.
Very good evening, sir. Jai Hind.
Good evening, yaar. Jai Hind.
Sir, you recommended through written entry.
How does that matter, yaar? Ask questions related to you.
I want to ask because what are the challenges do you face while your preparation and while giving your attempts, written attempts, and how
See,
you
all these
overcome with
personal
them?
questions I'll take at the end. Now ask anything relevant to SSB, what you have as a doubt, not about me.
Okay, sir. So I have heard many times that some earlier I have taken a online coaching of the SSB,
Mhm.
where I get to know that don't ask if they are asking for your choice of that preference, which regiment or corps you want to join.
Mhm.
And many were saying like don't as I am a para lover, so I used to say that I want to join para special forces. So many say don't say like this in the SSB, it will not good. Try
No.
something different.
Whatever is your natural desire, let's say you want to join para, you want to join aviation, you want to join technical arms, infantry, RT, anything, whatever you have within, say it. There's nothing wrong in it.
Okay, sir. And sir, what was your inspiration to join army?
I told you no personal questions. Come at the end. Next, Mohan Kumar.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Jain sir.
You're welcome. Jain there, please.
Sir, I completed my 10th with 10 CGPA and later on I completed my 12th with a 56.8%. There was drastic change in my percentage in class 12th. And it was due to that I was basically unfit for the almost 1.5 year and I was mentally disturbed at that point in time. Basically, I'm a cricket player and at that point in time I was injured and there was back injury. So whenever the
Sorry, you got muted. Unmute yourself here, Mohan.
Yes. May I
Yeah,
speak,
please
sir?
continue. You got injured, there was a back injury then?
And it was almost for 1.5 year. So it was a chronic type of disease at that point in time. But later on, I worked on my physical, and right now I'm completely fit and fine. And whenever I go to the SSB, an interviewer asks me that why there is a drastic change in your percentage in class 12. So will it be easy to say, or it
It
will
is a
create
valid
some?
reason. Right? You had a very serious injury, and back injuries are not a joke. Everyone knows that. And you need complete bed rest, and it will affect your academics also when these kind of things happen, and it's acceptable. You had a genuine reason because of which there was a decrease in your percentage. Later, I hope you bounced back and you scored better in your graduation.
Sir, in graduation, I got 72 percentage marks, and I
Good.
cleared my CDS and AFCAT on the appearing in the appearing year. And so
Good job.
basically, will it create any sort of doubt in their mind
No.
that whether he will be fit for the medical or not?
No one is checking for your medical criteria in the SSB. Like whatever injuries you talk about, let's say you talk about a fracture, you talk about a head injury, you talk about a heart attack also from my side, no one is judging you on your medical criteria because they know after this you will go for your medical and everything will be checked in detail. They are looking only for the qualities they are interested in. No one is interested in your medical during SSB.
And sir, basically, I have completed my graduation with public administration as major subject, and right now I'm going to face the second year for selection board Mysuru on 18th of September. So, and I'm going for the logistic and administration batch only. So, will it is the beneficial for me to say there that I had the public administration and I have studied it. So, will they ask any question related to my background of graduation?
See, anything you have studied, you must be aware of the basics. So no one is interested in the deep aspects of your core subjects. Even the assessors won't know. Public administration के बारे में किसको पता होगा to ask very deep technical questions. They'll ask basic things about what is public administration, general national government policies, whatever political things happening. But they may ask basic questions about it, and you are better than them in that subject. So you must be able to answer and convince them. Doesn't have a big impact on your selection. They are just interested in knowing whether you have studied your core areas if you are a good person as a student, like if you're a responsible person by nature, you have studied things, you have fulfilled your responsibilities as a student, it is bound to continue because that's a quality. Responsibility is a quality of yours. So once you get into training also, you are likely to be a responsible cadet, and later you are bound to become a responsible officer. So they are interested in those qualities. Through all these questions, they are checking what kind of a person you are, what kind of a person you are likely to be when you get trained or when you become an officer. So all these knowledge aspects or question and answer aspects do not have a say in your selection. Your qualities only matter. If you are able to justify your shortcomings, if you are ready to work upon them, and if you show them the overall picture that yes, I am fit, and even with these chotu motu weaknesses, I am good enough to train myself and become a good officer, they will recommend you.
Okay, sir, another question is that when AFCAT 1 2023 forms was filling, at that point in time, I had not the result of my third year. So while filling the form, I had filled that my gross percentage is 75%. But later on, in the month of May, I got my final result, and in that it was 72%. So will it impact somewhere that
Why did you write
there is
75? When your final year results have not come, you must be writing the aggregate of the first 2 years only.
So basically, yes, sir. Aggregate of 2 years is 75%.
So then it's correct. The results have come after you filled the form, na? So yeah, acceptable. Good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Next, Umesh Kumar. Umesh, are you there?
हेलो सर, जय हिंद सर।
जय हिंद।
सर पीपीडीटी में एक्शन कैसे चूज करते हैं?
जो पिक्चर में दिख रहा है वही एक्शन है यार। व्हाट इज द क्वेश्चन? एक्शन कैसे चूज करते हैं? व्हाटएवर इज शोन इन द पिक्चर, थिंक अबाउट इट एंड व्हाट एक्शंस यू वांट टू टेक टू टैकल दैट सिचुएशन. और देयर आर सम पिक्चर्स इन व्हिच क्लियरली एन एक्शन इज बीइंग शोन ऑलरेडी. So that will be your action.
Okay, sir. Sir, my second doubt is, sir, I am in state board, so मैं स्पोकन इंग्लिश इतना फ्लुएंट नहीं बोल सकता।
Doesn't
स्पोकन
matter.
इंग्लिश
State board, CBSE board, ICSE board, this is not an excuse here. If you are from an English medium school, it is same everywhere. CBSE is not some no hyper technical stuff they teach. It's the same thing. So when your English is not good, you can't say I was from a state board, that's why my English was not good. You had English as a subject in your school. It is expected that you know the basic vocabulary and you must be able to convey your thoughts in English. And being from a state syllabus is not an excuse because otherwise also you can improve now. English speaking will take hardly 2 to 3 months to train if you do it the right way. So work upon it and go as a person who knows good English. Don't keep this excuse as I was from a state board, so my English is bad. So don't expect any no leeway considering your background. Try to improve as much as possible, provided whatever facilities you got. You were not fortunate enough to go to a convent where ICSE and CBSE syllabus was taught to you. It's okay. You have the opportunity now. You have internet. You have all resources at your hand. So use them and improve yourself.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Next, Saurav Singh.
Good evening, sir. Sir,
Good
I had
evening,
a
yaar.
doubt regarding TAT. So, in my last attempt while writing TAT stories, so I started describing the character since I wanted it to be relatable to me. So, for like every story, I used to write ki XYZ is a 12th is a student in his 12th class. He just recently completed, and like for every story, I used to start with these lines. So, like, is it a good practice?
You can relate it to yourself as much as possible, but if the picture is completely showing something else, like let's say a very young boy, like he's clearly seen as some 12, 13-year old kid, you can't make him a 12th standard guy or you can't make him a graduate. Try to relate it to the picture more than to yourself. You can project your qualities through any character. Let's say a girl is present, you can put your qualities, you can put yourself in the shoes of that girl and still be able to project your qualities. It is important to relate to the picture more than to relate to yourself. Relating to yourself is not your job. It will naturally come. Relating to your picture is your job. You are making a conscious effort in doing that. You know the picture, you are seeing it, and you are writing your story. So it is expected that you relate it to the picture. Relating to your own is not a rule there. They have not told you to write your stories or try to relate to yourself. That instruction is not given to you. They are telling you to observe the picture carefully and write a story around it. So do that, and relating to yourself is not your job. That is actually not required also. Naturally, whatever you are writing is related to you only. Your life experiences, your feelings, emotions, you are putting it on paper. So you don't need to make an effort in doing this. Make an effort in relating it to the picture.
Okay, got it, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next, Pankaj Singh.
Jain sir.
Jain there.
Sir, I have a question that I used to play like gully cricket, and it is my daily like game, and but I don't know much about the history and the
Not
like
required. Understood, understood. Not required.
rules.
You have played cricket at a not professional level. You have played it with your friends. You are saying it's gully cricket. So no one expects you to know the rules and history of cricket, nothing. And even the assessors know most of us Indians play cricket and football and these other games at home. And most of us are not aware of the complete rules of ICC and the history of cricket. Not required. You are playing a game, you can say, and if you say you have played it at some level, like let's say inter college or district level, then you are expected to know the rules because there you have played, no, some level of professional cricket. So then you will be asked questions on it. At this level, no one is interested in knowing your cricket knowledge.
Yes, sir. I, but some of my teacher has said that if you have not played like some games at your school level or on district or any other, then you should write one game and know all about the history and the
No, not
rules and the
required.
basics.
Not required. See, if you have not played at a professional level, what is the use of knowing about that game? No one is expecting you to know everything about all things in the world. Not required. Once you have done it, he is trying to check whether you have actually done it and how much you have been into it, whether you are aware of all the rules, whether you have played it the right way, and how that has groomed your personality as a person. When you play games, when you do these hobbies, when you take up positions of responsibility, when you score well in your academics, basically your entire PIQ, whatever you have done in your life, has some impact on your personality. It has trained you in some aspects of your qualities. Let's say you have played some team games like football or hockey, and cricket is not considered a team game because an individual can win a cricket match with his performance. But it doesn't happen in these other games: football, hockey, volleyball, basketball. These are actual team games. So when you play that, when you become a captain in those games, when you are a member also in that game, it is naturally inferred that you are good in mingling with people. You are a team player. You know how to be in a group and get performance out of your peers. So those qualities improve when you play those team games. So similarly, every activity of yours has improved some area of your quality. So that is being checked. So no one is interested in whether you have played national, international level. Not required. They're not looking for sportsmen, right? They're looking for officers. So how those games or activities or your academics have helped you as a person, that is what matters.
So, sir, will it be suitable to to stay the to skip the like PI को वो जो कॉर्नर होता है 10th नंबर का कि गेम्स वाला तो वो उसको छोड़ना सही रहेगा कि इसमें कुछ गेम लिखना ही लिखना है.
No, if you have not done anything at any level, then it's obviously that you leave it blank. If you have not done NCC, then you leave NCC blank. Similarly, if you have not participated in any games, obviously that's a negative thing because at some point in your life you must have played some game. It is good to write, but if you haven't done at all, then obviously you need to leave it blank.
Okay, sir. And my second question is that I had PCM in my 12th, but after 12th, I have taken a drop year for the ND preparation and for JE, and I had my JE exam with 55 percentile, and I also gave Air Force X Group Agniveer, and I also cleared it. So, will the interviewer ask about my drop year?
Yes, obviously, because it's clearly seen that 1 year has been skipped in your profile. Like your graduation has come in 1 year after what is it supposed to be. So that question will come up. You should be able to answer whatever you told now. You tell the same to the interview master. These are the things I did in the job fair. I prepared for these exams. I appeared for these interviews, and these were the results.
And sir, what I think the main problem is that I had my PCM, but I chose the BA from the IGNU University, Open University. So will he ask that why there is no regular graduation?
You should have some reason, na? Like, why did you actually take BA distance? Why not some other college degree?
Sir, I thought the reason I have thought that
No, don't tell
NDA
me what you are
whether
going to say. Tell me the actual reason why you didn't go to college.
okay, sir. And my third question is that, in the SRT, if there is like situation which we do not handle in the practical way, let I take example that in a house, a husband always beats his wife while alcoholic. So, will it suitable to write the hypothetical sentence that we that I joined the all neighbors and go there
Understand this
and
issue. Like, every response in your SRT is essentially hypothetical only. Most of those situations given there you have never faced in your life, and you are likely to not face them also. But given that situation, if you are in that place, what would you do? Essentially, it is hypothetical only. Every test in your psychology test is hypothetical. So obviously, you will give hypothetical answers only. But those answers which you give are coming from your psyche, from your thinking, from whatever you are going to do if you are put in that place. That will tell the psychologist about your qualities. Like, let's say if there is a fight, you choose to fight back and give it back to the person. It shows that you are a person who does not accept someone dominating you, and you try to give it back. You are a fighter kind of personality. Some other person to the same situation may say, I will talk to him and try to resolve it in a peaceful manner. It shows that he is that kind of a person. So your qualities are being checked, and they are trying to know what overall kind of person you are. So everything is hypothetical only. So you give hypothetical answers only.
okay, sir. And my fourth question is that if we are having in the GD session of the SSB interview, then will it suitable to if we are not getting the proper accurate facts about that particular point, that then we say that 80 to 100%, 90 to 100% as a approximate value we use.
Of what in GD?
Yes, sir. About some topic like relation,
Okay,
वगैरह.
like no one is expecting you to know facts at all in the first place. All topics are general awareness topics in which mostly subjective discussion happens. There is no one pointing out facts and figures. Although when you use them, you are supporting your points and you are giving more solid information. It is better to use them. But if you don't know, it's okay. No one is expecting you to use them at all. But if you use them, accurately. Like 80 to 90%, 90 to 100%, all these things are good enough. But it should be true. It should not be like you can say population of India is 20 crores when it is actually 140, 150. Oh, you must be near to the actual figure, and it should support your points basically. Oh, don't think about all these minute things.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Next is this Alpha Brahma.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yeah.
Sir, I have a question that, sir, I am in my last attempt and I am preparing for CDS OTA. And, sir, unfortunately, sir, I won't make it the paper till now, and I haven't been to SSB even once. So I am thinking that if I am able to clear this time, then a question which is in my mind that the interviewer may ask that you have been given so much chances and you have not yet able to clear the SSB paper till now, and according to my attempt, all negative questions. So, sir, what should the perfect answer if they ask that till now why you won't able to clear and what are your problems, sir?
It's a natural thing. Yeah, you are unable to clear those exams because of some weaknesses. You are not good in studies, or you didn't get enough time to study. Whatever reasons you had for being unable to clear those exams, say them. Follow the steps. Ayush, please mute yourself. All of you keep yourself on mute here. Follow the rules, please. No one is interested in judging you based on your history. If you are not able to clear those exams, so be it. Now you have cleared it. They are interested in checking your qualities only, as I told you. And clearing a written exam is something good on very small aspects, like you were giving yourself time, you were able to clear that exam, you did hard work and went through or cleared the cutoff. They say only very minimal things about you. Your PIQ, your 5 days of assessment, which happens in the SSB, they talk all your qualities, whatever they require. So it's okay to answer. And what was your actual reason for not being able to clear? You tried hard enough and you couldn't clear, or you're not serious enough? What was the actual reason?
Sir, in actually from 2020, my first attempt started because I completed my graduation in 2020 itself. But sir,
Mhm.
in that first year, in my first two attempts, I was totally unaware of means how to prepare actually.
So
Means,
that is not a
in
reason
first
here. How can you say I was not aware of how to prepare? It's a simple exam.
sir,
Everyone knows how
means,
to do this.
the way is actually sir, I am weak in mathematics
You
I
should
have
say that,
given
na.
maximum time in mathematics only, but somehow I won't get that much mark, and I always won't able to
Okay.
clear the
If
cutoffs
you're weak in
from
maths,
10
you
to
should have
15
cleared it at
marks.
least for OTA, right? English and GK.
Sir, I have thought that if I would push myself, then I may made it, and I have answer IMA is quite tempting, and I
So
thought that
that is okay. IMA is tempting, we know. But why were you not able to clear it for OTA? OTA requires basic things only, na? English and GK. If you have cleared GK cutoff, and if you have scored decently well in English, like 70 plus, you should be able to get OTA call at least.
no sir, it means I won't able to score that much marks, and around
What?
20
GK?
25 marks always
They
come.
told me, no, you were weak in maths, so you couldn't clear maths paper. Similarly, were you weak in GK? Did you clear the cutoff?
Sir, means in last two three attempts I've given my actually best, and I am only 7 to 10 marks difference is there between clearing the cutoff and
So tell that, na, you were unable to do it because you were not well prepared. Simple. You should have
yes sir.
worked hard enough. You should have given more time. You should have prepared in the right manner. You were unable to do it at that point. So you were weak. You were not having those qualities like few months ago. But now you have improved. You have cleared that exam and you are coming as an improved person. So the assessor is happy about that. Although there will
Sir,
be some questioning happening on your history, like what exactly happened. It shows about what kind of a person you were. But once you have improved, once you have come to the expected level, no one is interested in your history.
sir, this is I want to ask that if this is any bad
It is
impression
a
that
bad thing,
if you
obviously. See, if you have not able to clear a simple exam for so many times, although knowing everything about it, and you say you are a motivated candidate who wants to join IMA, but you are not able to, having a dream is different, having a goal is different. You had a dream of IMA. You didn't take it as a serious goal and you didn't work hard enough for it. This is the harsh reality. And the assessor will also infer this only from your history. But you
yes sir,
may
I agree.
try to, compensate it by becoming a better person now. Take it seriously at least now. Prepare well and clear the exam, and go confidently for your SSB. Try to clear it. Whatever is in your hands, do it now. Your history is not in your hands. It has already happened. So why are you thinking about that now?
Yes. Sir, one last thing, sir. Means I am a fresher. Somehow, in the last attempt also, I am a fresher only. So, sir, in my group, there may be repeaters also. So, sir, is there is going to be any much difference between me and other
There's no
members?
difference. There's no difference. Everyone is almost a repeater only now because everyone knows the selection system. Everyone comes with practice. So even technically, who is coming for the first time, he knows everything. So he is not a fresher who is unaware and some kind of excuse will be given to him. No, everyone knows everything is available on the internet. You are expected to come prepared. You are expected to know everything that happens. So technically, everyone is almost a repeater only. So you are at the same level as them.
Lastly, sir, about batch courses and related to exam, sir, पेपर एग्जाम यूपीएससी एग्जाम तो सर उसका मतलब उसके लिए सर आपका बैच कोर्सेज के बारे में थोड़ा बता दीजिए सर
Maths.
बैच कोर्सेज सर मींस अबाउट पेपर रिलेटेड
What do you mean? CDS written paper ka?
या यस सर
No, now is not the time. Ask this on Telegram. Written related questions we'll take care of later. It is simple. I have already put up everything. We have pinned those messages also, your written strategica, and there are multiple videos on YouTube and internet. Written strategy is not something you should be asking now. The exam is coming in 2 months, and you want to start now.
No, sir. Means I am already preparing from May itself, but there is always a doubt that
Why the
you
doubt
are
when
yet.
you are already preparing? Give some mock tests, check yourself at what level you are. Are you able to clear the cutoff? Then see where you need to improve and start improving upon them. Don't rely on others' tips and strategies. See, I will give you suggestions based on my weaknesses and strengths. I will tell you to focus more on maths, more on certain areas because those were my strengths and I followed that strategy. That need not work for you. Your preparation is completely different from my preparation. So stop this asking tips, asking suggestions from people. Anything for written exams for SSB mainly, because SSB is a complete personality based test and every personality is unique. So when you take suggestions from someone, when you try to replicate your performance, you are actually messing up your chances. You are
Yes,
unique
sir.
as a
Actually,
person, so depend
yes,
on
sir.
yourself.
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, the thing is that preparation time always the things come in mind that you are means
When
till
you
now
are
you are a failure.
well
Till now
prepared,
you
when
are
you
a failure,
are
and
understood.
I
Understood.
means am I going in the right direction or not? And
So
it
that
always
self-doubt shouldn't
bit.
come at all. When you are self-prepared, when you have put in the right amount of hard work, when you have taken guidance from someone you trust, that doubt should
Yes,
not
sir.
come at all. Because you haven't done those things to that expected level, you are not confident enough. So that's a mistake you have done. Now is also there is time. It's not too late. You have what, 2 months now? No, exactly 2 months for your CDS
Yes, sir.
paper. So start your preparation seriously from now at least. Follow all
Yes,
right
sir.
strategies and CDS exam. If you are struggling so much, then sorry, yaar. Like what other exams can you clear if you can't clear CDS? It's a very simple paper. Very honestly saying. GK, you just need to score 20 out of 100 with educated guesses, with random markings. Also, you can clear that cutoff. If you are smart enough, if you have had general studies of all the basic subjects, you pick up these 10, 12 standard books, Polity by Lakshmikant, History in Spectrum, NCRTs of 6th to 12th, all the basic UPSC books everyone knows on the internet. Pick up those books and read them once, only once, not even for exam point of view, just read them as a novel. And you will be at a level where you can do educated guesses if you do that. And with random educated guesses also, if you eliminate two options and take a guess in the remaining options or use these Chatki techniques, you will still be able to clear CDS cutoff comfortably without
Actually,
any
sir,
other complete proper knowledge also.
actually, sir, I don't face enough problem in GK, but sir, means already I wasted my attempts in mathematics preparation. So I am thinking, sir, to
You are
focus
not
more on
preparing for
English.
maths at all, now. What is your excuse?
Yes, sir.
From May
Now,
you'll be
sir, no,
taking English
sir.
for GK and English.
Yes, sir. Only GK and English, sir.
So do it then.
Yes, sir.
All the
Thank
best.
you, sir. Thank you, sir, for giving your valuable time, sir.
Okay, you're welcome. Aditya Nair.
Jain sir, so I
Yes,
have two
buddy.
questions.
Yes.
First is how to inculcate that positive approach in our day-to-day life so that it develops our psyche and it gets reflects in our psychological test as well.
What do you mean by positive approach?
So the ability to solve problems efficiently and in the best manner possible.
So do it in real life now. Whatever small problems you have, problems at home, problems in academics, problems at workplace, problems in your relationship, tackle them with the right mindset, with the right qualities. Like, what is your question? Like, how to develop these qualities in daily life? Just practice them. Just lead that lifestyle in general life. You don't make a
All right,
conscious
sir.
effort to practice them for the sake of SSB. You're not doing this. Otherwise, also in life, you need to do these things. So do them. It will naturally reflect in your SSB.
And sir, the second question is suppose in that there is a picture of a small girl. So can I introduce another character which is not shown in the picture? So
You can
is
do
it
that,
permissible?
but you can also build a story around that girl only.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. Jain.
Okay, you're welcome, Jahin. Sachin Singh.
Jain sir, am I audible?
Jahin, you're audible.
Sir, I'm doubt like sometimes I face stammering problem like while this SSB interviews. I have went for three SSB and all are three screen out because like this will also lower down my confidence also, and sometimes while speaking I like my mind get like blank, all the things I forget because of this stammering problem. Like it don't happens like every time everywhere, but sometimes it like it becomes more.
See, stammering is not your natural weakness then. For people who are born with stammering or who have developed it at an early childhood because of some trauma, it happens all the time. Like even when you are not under stress, you stammer. But for people like you who are otherwise good, but in some situations you get stammering, it is because of nervousness. That is because of lack of confidence. You
Yeah.
prepare well, you go with confidence for those tests, and say to yourself that this is not something which will make or break my life. This is some test which I have come to give, and it's a casual test. Just go with that attitude and do not take pressure on your brain. Naturally, you won't stammer. You are feeling nervous, you are feeling conscious of the fact that you have come there for a big test which will make you an officer in the armed forces. You are thinking of all those big things and adding pressure on your brain. That is causing nervousness, as a result of which you're stammering. So
I
don't think.
think too much about the process like.
So that's what, no, enjoy the process. Do not think about the outcome. Do not think about what will happen. This is an attitude problem. People always think about the outcome. Do not do that. Just enjoy the process. Do not think about it. Like the result is not in your hands. And in SSB it is 100% not in your hands. In written exams at least you can, try to come here and there and improve your chances. SSB is completely in their hands. You can just project yourself in your natural manner and leave the judgment to them. So in that kind of test, what pressure do you want to take? Just leave it. Do not think about it at all.
Yeah, and one more doubt like for the sports, like I'm playing many games. Like I already played like a school tournament and college tournament, but I am good in only one tournament, like one sport. So like in the PIQ, should I mention all the games like or just only one game that I went for the inter college, district, and national level?
You can mention all games if you have played it for some amount of time. Like let's say you have played it for 2-3 months with your friends, or at college intersection level, or at some level you played some game. You can mention that in the PIQ. No problem.
Okay.
Obviously, at the this game which you have played at professional level, that will definitely go on paper. Other games also you can mention.
So it is necessary like because I played 6 to 7 games, but I know I have deep knowledge about one game. So it is necessary to having a more knowledge about these other games also, like
No,
that I played
not
only for.
required. Not
Not
required. No.
okay. Then, thanks a lot. Thank you.
Okay. Satyendra Ghosh.
Jain, sir.
Jai Hind.
Sir, my question is that first of all, sir, I am right now in second year
Mhm.
in my college graduation, and I'm pursuing my graduation with English honors. And till now, sir, I have realized that my percentage in graduation would be around like 50 to 60%. It will be between this only.
Mhm.
And in class 10th, I have scored 80%, means 78.2%. And in class 12th, I have scored 86.6%.
Okay.
So they will obviously means grill me in this that why I got such less percentage in my graduation.
Mhm.
So one of the reason behind this is that sir I am involving my most of means I am just using my most of time playing cricket,
Mhm.
means I am playing club cricket, but there is also a means a negative thing that I haven't played any level, means at state level or any like any
See,
level I
state
haven't played
level is
any
a
level.
good thing. Understood your doubt. In cricket, especially in India, reaching up to a state level is a very difficult task because there are so many good players. Even if you are playing at a local club level, if you are representing your district also, it's a very big thing. You have achieved good success in cricket. That is the standard in India. So do not think about whether you have played at a professional level. You have a fair enough reason to justify your low marks. Tell them that most of my time was invested in practicing cricket and playing for my club, which is why my graduation marks are low. It's a good enough
But sir,
reason.
but sir, as per my capacity, as because I have done earlier also, like I would say that my capacity is almost between 60 to 70%. But the capacity has went down because sir, I have take literature, as because we all know that literature is something in which we didn't means we are not expected that we will get that much marks as compared to in maths or chemistry or any science subjects.
Hmm.
In literature specifically, we don't get that much marks. So if I say that to them, so they will obviously going to say that you are excusing, you are making excuses. So will that be a proper
Say
answer
that in
that
a convincing
literature?
manner. Like
Huh?
you are saying everyone knows, but I didn't know it till now.
No, sir. It is the real fact that if you
It is
write the
real
whole
fact
answer
for
also,
you,
na,
but as an interviewing officer, let's say I'm interviewing you, I'm not aware of this. So you must be able to say it with some proof ki, which is the what is the highest percent in your college? What is the percentage of
my in my college the highest percentage is 68%. I guess, yeah,
That's a
sixty-eight
good enough
percent.
fact to support your logic. Now you can say 68 is the highest, and I'm scoring around 55, 60. So I'm at a very good average, like above average. So it is,
Okay.
you need to put it that way. You need to support your statement. You can't just say things which are not convincing him.
But
If you,
at that point of time also they can say na that you are making excuse, like you may lie. You may lie that yes, your college students are getting 68%.
no one
They
is
may
judging
think
you.
that.
If you are saying something, it is assumed that you are saying the truth only, unless you give hints otherwise. Your body language, the level of confidence you speak at, your expressions, everything speak about whether you are saying the truth or not. And the interviewing officer is experienced enough to make out the difference. So if you are saying the
But
truth, no one is judging you saying you are lying. If you are saying the truth, it will be perceived as truth only.
and there is one more question, like I have NCC certificate with alpha grade, and there is also a demerit for me that like recent times, CDS or the Indian Army have just increased the percentage from 50% to 60%.
Of what?
So of selection means for NCC special entry.
Okay.
So for that reason also means I am not getting means I will not get selected for NCC special entry. I will not get the SSB call. So that is also a
Wait,
main
what do you
thing
mean
that
by
they
50
will
to
also.
60%? Like the percentage
Huh?
required.
What?
NCC special entry has a percentage criteria. You should have
Yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They have minimum like before like 6 months, it is 50%.
Okay.
So I am able to clear the 50% cutoff, but now
So
after
you
the
still have
newest.
1 year, right? You are still in your second year. Try to push your percentage upwards and try to get it above 60. If not possible, then you have let go of that chance. So what will you do for
No,
something?
no. So that is the main question. They may ask that when you
Why are you
came to
thinking of
know
that?
that.
Can you ask? Is it in your
Yes, sir.
hands now?
It is not in my hand, but
Then don't
they
do
may
it.
ask that na that you came to know that in your last year you came to know that yes you have NC special entry also, and now also you
Listen,
are playing cricket.
you are thinking too much about what they will ask, what I need to answer. Nonsense, not required. Whatever things are in your hand, focus on them. Go with whatever entries you will get a chance for, CDS, AFCAT, or whatever other entries you are eligible for. Perform there. Do not think about what they will ask, how they will, cross check my background and grill me on that. Unnecessary. It will
And
not help.
one more question of me is that, sir, I have a SRT for you. Like for my 1 second, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
One situation means my dad recently have asked me that I was just for a few minutes I was just like blank in this situation. Like you are going for some important exams, like if I assume for board examinations of class 12, and suddenly you see an accident
Hmm.
in front of you and there is no one, like you are in a blank road. So what will you do at that point of time, as because you are going for an SSB, or not for an SSB, you are going for an board exam, so that is also important and this accident is also an important. So what will
See,
you do at that point of
I,
time?
for me as a person, for me that life is important. If some life is at stake, my exam can be taken care of later also. So I will cater to that. I will do the necessary things. Obviously, it will not be an isolated place. There will be some people around, maybe at a distance, or there are other resources. I can call an ambulance. I will take care of it and still reach the exam. These are
Means
all
totally dependent on my priority, na?
obviously.
Okay, sir, thank you. Jain, sir.
Jai Hind. Alpha Brahma, you have another doubt?
No, sir. Sorry, no, sir.
Okay, okay. Ganesh Belokar. Ganesh, are you there? All right. Priyanshu.
Hello, sir.
Jai there.
Hello,
Speak
sir.
up.
Sir,
Yes.
how are you?
I'm good.
तो सर मेरा एक कंसर्न था कि as we go in interview for SSB, so IOs are allotted for a group. Means if there are 25 people, so if two IOs are there, so
one I will take care of half of the person, and second I will take care of the half of the person. They will take the interview. So if we'll ask to the person who has given interview before us, so they give us the types of question which I will ask, that these types of question is asking
First
in
of all, don't
just
ask them
for
at all.
example.
See, okay,
Sir,
okay, understood
this is
what
what
you mean.
I. So sir, we
Don't
know
ask.
the type of questions I is gonna ask.
Who is
So
telling you to ask people that? Don't do that at all. First thing, you don't ask people what he asked and don't prepare it. Be spontaneous
no,
and go with calm mind.
no, sir, that is my concern. That if, in my case, what I have experienced, that they are asking PIQ only.
Hmm.
So interview questions are same for everyone.
Hmm.
So what is the difference? Like, what is the point which create difference in that?
Why are you concerned about it? He is asking you questions, you know what to answer, answer them. Why are you thinking about what difference it makes, how they are selecting? That is not your job, right? So
Yes,
let
sir.
them do their job, you do your job.
Yes, sir. And sir, my second question is that have you met anyone in the academy that who has not played any sport in his school life or in college life and got selected in SSB?
Yes.
So it means there are persons that who have not played sports, and yes, they are able to do that.
Yes. Not played at any professional level, I mean. Some casual level with their friends, with their family members. At school, they must have played. There is no person who has not played anything at all. फिर पूरा
Hmm.
childhood में किया ही क्या होगा? No one is studying for 24 hours. In some free time, they'll have played some game. So that
Yes.
way, everyone is having some game or sport background, but they might have not represented anyone, any place, no college or
Yeah,
school level.
understood. Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
you're welcome. Next, Manjunathan. Manjunathan, are you there? All right. Purushottam.
Hi, sir. Jain, sir.
Jai Hind there.
Sir, actually, I'm having one doubt, sir. Sir,
Mhm.
I have given almost 6 times CDS exam, sir, but I couldn't able to clear any time, sir.
Okay.
So if I'm going to SSB and if IO ask whether you have given CDS, and if I say I couldn't able to clear my 6 time, but I have prepared every time,
Hmm.
because of some reasons I couldn't able to clear like negative marks, and some topics I couldn't able to clear it well. That's
Hmm.
why. So how can I cope with this answer to him, sir?
See, you obviously you have given exams and you are not able to clear it. Accept them. Accept you were not good enough to clear those exams. You must have had some reasons, like in some subjects I was weak, or I was feeling anxious during the exam and committing mistakes during the exam. Some reason like why exactly you couldn't clear the exam. You must be aware of it first thing.
Yes, sir.
And
Sir, in my view, like I was a working person, so I couldn't like serious is kind of a higher exam where I have to give more time to prepare and practice. So because
understood.
of working hours,
You
I
didn't
couldn't
get
able to.
time. So that's your reason. I didn't have enough time to prepare. I was more focused on my job. Although I
Yes.
tried as much as possible, I could not clear those exams. And I realized I need to put in more hard work. And eventually, like when you go for your SSB, you're going through some exam only, right? So you can justify that I did work hard and I could clear this time. So it doesn't leave any negative impression on you. People know
Yes.
that.
Okay, sir.
Understood, no? What
Right, sir.
you're
I got it. Sir, second question. Actually, I'm going for direct entry, sir. Sir, NCC entry and SSC Tech entry mostly. So
Mhm.
almost I have given 8 attempts. In that 8 attempts, linely I was got screened out for 6 times, sir. Two
Mhm.
conference out. But after two conference out, I was got screened out linely for 6 times. So will this really affect for my next SSB, sir?
See, no one knows about your history while screening you in. Your PIQ and your other SSB ka history is seen only in stage 2. During screening in, they are checking the basic qualities at face level. Like, are you confident? Are you giving your OIR? How you have performed there? And whatever in PPDT, they are checking your confidence, your English speaking, your ability to behave in a group, all these things. No one knows whether you have been screened out, whether you are a repeater. No one knows, honestly, during
Yes,
your
sir.
stage 1. So your performance only matters. In your stage 2, these things will be mentioned in your PIQ, your previous attempts and all, and there will be questions on it. What happened and how you have improved in this current attempt, which is known to everyone. So you must be able to tackle them.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Your
Thank you,
history
sir.
has no negative impact on your selection. That's what I'm trying to say. If you see Rohit's interview, he was screened out 10 times. He was conferenced out once, and he got recommended in his 12th attempt.
Yes,
So
sir.
there are all kinds of examples. So your history does not matter. At your current level, are you fit enough? That's all.
Okay, sir. Okay. Sir, one more thing, sir.
Yes.
Hello. Yes, sir. Sometime when I'm practicing VAT, few sets I couldn't able to recall and give the VAT sentence correctly, sir. In time, in that 15 seconds, I couldn't able to make it properly.
What do you mean by recall? You are not given some 10 words and then told to make 10 sentences at a time. No? Each word is being shown and you are writing it on spot. So what is recalling there?
Recall in sense, correct idea of sentence presenting, sir.
Acha, so that you need to get it with practice, or it will naturally come when you are a well-read person, when you are good in your vocabulary, when you have led a full life, when you are open to all kinds of opportunities in front of you, you have traveled a lot, you have mingled with people, you have had relationships, everything. Like you have experienced all kinds of things in life. In WAT, the words are like that, no, Nina. No one is
Yes.
interested in your exam preparation or your one particular aspect. It is a diverse thing. Like they give you words like love, they give you words like murder, they give you words like tough, difficult, all kinds of things. If you have experienced yourself, if you have some idea about that word, and your response to that word is something you have experienced yourself, you will be able to get ideas automatically. If you haven't faced any of those in your life, if you have no idea of that word, then that's something not desirable. You should have had some experiences in life. You should have led a wholesome life first thing. And
Okay,
although
sir.
some people have done everything, they are not able to express themselves in WAT. They are not getting that instant idea to write on that word. That will come with practice. You go
Okay,
through
sir.
some responses given by some people, like how exactly you generate ideas. It will come with practice. You just keep going at it. It's not a big thing. WAT is easy.
Okay, sir. Sir, one more doubt, sir.
Yes.
Sir, while writing the TAT stories, I'm just imagining the themes different, but the actions are coming to the similar, sir, for every each story, like kind of discussion, planning, and organizing. Like these actions are coming on very similar way. So how to write the different kind of actions to for different themes?
See, when the themes are different, obviously actions are also different. Although these are general things. For any mission, you need to have a plan, you need to have an execution, you need to have a team with you to execute that plan of yours. You have time as a constraint. All these are general things which are common to any action, any mission, anything in life, basically. So that is common. Like when you say about planning, when there is some fire accident happening and when there is some girl being kidnapped, the actions are different, obviously. You
Yes,
take
sir.
different steps. So obviously there is no repetition and no picture is the same as the other. The actions will be different.
Okay, sir. Okay.
You are
Thank you,
saying
sir.
actions are coming to be same based on the kind of actions you take. Like let's say there is some problem at your hand, you first plan it, then you divide the tasks to people, then you go about handling it, and then you come out successful. This is the general theme for any tackling any problem.
Yes,
So
sir.
there is not repeating of actions.
Yes, sir. Means, suppose one example, sir. Suppose
Mm.
if I'm going for agriculture team, so he's like lead character is like planning and dividing the work for the farmers and helping them in and collaborating with the government body to supply the supplements and fertilizers. And
Mm.
for if we're going for the office side team, so
Mm.
same the lead character is becoming a lead and planning and discussion with the group mates and he contacted with other company members and
So these
like
are
that it is
different options
used.
now. Obviously, the common idea is same. Ki when a task is at your hand, you first plan it and then you discuss with your team. Then you make them do whatever your plan is, and then come out of that through some actions of yours. The general idea is same, but actions are different in these two stories also. So
Okay,
you don't need to worry.
no need to worry, no sir. Okay.
No,
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
you're welcome. Next, Vishal Rai.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Vishal.
Sir, I recently attended an SSB about a week ago for the Indian
Okay.
Navy. And, sir, in the screening process, I put in my 100% effort in the OIR test. I completed it almost 2 minutes before time. I'm sure, sir, OIR test went well. After that, sir, I was shown a picture wherein a boy and a girl were discussing something. So I wrote a story based on two final year engineering students who are discussing to present a research paper. And so the actions that I put in that story were deliberate actions that were undertaken by me when I was in the final year. So I'm sure about the actions too. Sir, in the narration part, I was confident, I was flawless. I participated in GD and still got screened out, sir. And generally, if something like that happened, I've been rejected by SSB before, but I try and play it in my mind over and over again to understand what went wrong. But sir, there was nothing actually that I could find that I could have done better or I could have done in a different way. So there's a confusion, sir, as to what
Forget it.
do I do.
If you are thinking you have done the best of your abilities and still got rejected, then there's no point thinking at it. You know you have done your best. You may have got rejected for some unknown reason. Do you know that reason by now? No.
No, sir.
So then leave it. It's not in your hands now. You may have got rejected for some reason you are not aware of. Like, let's say in your group discussion you are more dominant, or in your narration you kind of showed an attitude which is not humble, or anything. There may be some implication at some point which they found not suitable, or in your OIR you are saying you did to the best, but maybe it could have been better. We never know.
Yes,
So
sir.
do not think about what was going wrong if you are not able to introspect it yourself. Once you look back, you are saying you did the best of everything in all the tasks, OIR and PPDT.
Yes, sir.
So if you honestly feel that, and if you have the ability to continue the same performance next time, just go with it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Abhinav,
Jain sir.
Jai Hind there.
Sir, my doubt is whether practicing the site test are going to improve our quality of the responses.
Practicing as in, like, there is a right approach to practice. You take an ambiguous picture, you write whatever first response to come to your that comes to your mind, and then try to assess it based on whatever rules you have followed, and is it a desirable thing? Like, have I followed all the ground rules? You know the basic things of what you need to do in TAT,
Yes, sir.
WT, SRT, everything. To do that, try to generate ideas, try to see different kind of pictures, and try to assess yourself by practicing them. That is the right approach. But the other hand, if you go about looking at ideal stories, looking at WT responses of others, and try to put that in your responses, try to make it more ideal, or try to better it in that sense, then that is a wrong approach. Because everyone, any assessor is interested your natural responses through which he can assess your personality. When your responses and your profile are not in sync with each other, in your PIQ you are showing some side of your personality. Like, the psychology assessment happens this way: the psychologist first takes your PIQ, he goes through it completely, and he makes a mind image of you. Ki, हाँ, what kind of person is Abhinav? Is he an extrovert or an introvert? Is he a intelligent guy or a okay guy? Like, everything overall, your entire life history has been compiled in that two sheets in your PIQ. So he knows already what kind of responses naturally this person is supposed to give. When your responses are completely out of sync with your profile, when your natural abilities are something else and in your psychology test you are showing something else, then obviously it is seen as a mismatch, and it is bound to happen that he is not able to assess your qualities. That is a bad thing to do. The right
Okay, sir.
approach is following your natural strengths and practicing them on your own, not comparing it with other people, not taking suggestions from toppers and trying to put them in your psychology tests. Not that. Manage your
Okay, sir.
time well. Give the best responses you can give naturally. Try to improve your style of story writing by practicing more pictures. Similarly, in WATs and SRTs, your own responses, try to mend them and make it better. Not by copying others or not by looking at ideal responses and trying to impress the assessor. Whatever natural abilities you have, try to show them in the best possible manner. That's all.
So I have one more doubt, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, I have watched some video on the YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, this says that if there is a picture, so
Mm.
in that picture, if there is a girl, so
Okay.
you have to import some male character. As you are a
No.
male, you have to
Okay,
import.
understood. Not required. If you are a male, it doesn't mean that you need to make a male character only as your central character. You can make the female character also as your story ka main character or what you call hero. You can make a girl also that.
Yes. Okay. So there is also if there is a picture,
Mm.
so there is a negative picture like there is a tsunami kind of thing happening.
Mm.
So, so is there is any need to add some positivity in that because there is no possibility of adding that positivity.
What is negativity and positivity here? If there is a tsunami happening, it is not something negative. It is a natural thing which happens. Natural calamities do happen. There's
So, for
nothing as
example,
positive or negative. First thing. On
there is a like divesting of the all the houses, all
understood.
the yes,
It is a crisis being
yes,
shown to you. It is not negative. It is a problem being shown to you. It is an image which is inducing crisis. So how you tackle that crisis, how you solve that problem being shown to you, that is what you are expected to write.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome. Next, Ghosh. Yes, Ghosh.
Yes, sir. Jain, sir.
Jai Hind.
Sir, I have recently passed my class 12 and I am having my SSB on 16th August Bhopal. So, sir,
Okay.
I am preparing for it, but sir, I am having some doubts. Like, sir, I have taken part in cross-country competition and inter-house obstacle competitions in my school. So, should I include it in my co-curriculars and sports as well in my PIQ?
Cross country is a good sporting activity. Yes, you can. It's not an extracurricular. Cross country will come in games and sports section.
Okay, sir. And sir,
What else?
I am having too much time for me. Like my SSB is around. I am having 1 month of time, sir. So, sir, how should I practice my psych, and how many times should I practice it so that I actually don't over practice this entire psych part?
There's nothing like over practice. You can practice it for the rest of your life, but do it in the right manner. Like just now, I explained the right approach to psychology test practice, right? So follow that. There's nothing like
Okay, sir.
re-practicing again. You never write the story for same pictures again and again. That is not practice. Practice in psychology tests is trying to generate more ideas, trying to be more open and giving responses which show your qualities. That will happen when you take pictures, when you take WT words, when you take SRT questions, and write your natural responses in a time-bound manner. Like give yourself that time-bound test. Like prepare a mock PPT and time it, and write your responses in a proper environment so that you get used to it, because you practice it without a time limit and suddenly when you go there there's a time limit, so you are adding pressure on and you're not used to that stress. So get used to it. Even during your practice, put a time limit on yourself and get used to that environment so that it will be easier for you in the actual SSB.
Yes, sir. And sir, in my GTO, sir, how can I improve my PGT and related ground tasks?
PGT and HGT or all these ground tasks which you solve problems on ground. These three things mainly: PGT, HGT, and command task. Idea generation is not something which is which will come with practice or you can go through videos or mug things up. It is a natural quality. You must be able to think of ideas on the go. If you are having a good aptitude, if you are having some common sense and you are able to maintain your calm during that stressful situation, you will get ideas. Your endeavor should be to maintain your calm and try to think deeply. Like if you observe the structure properly, if you apply your brain, and if you know these basic concepts of lever and effort and whatever basic physics is involved behind this, you will be able to solve all structures. So there's nothing much you need to practice about it or brainstorm on it. You can just go there with a calm mind and you will get ideas. They're all simple structures only.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome. Next, Deep.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, Swadi from this side and from ACC entry.
Hmm.
Same queries related to the previous one only, like how I will prepare my site.
Okay.
As you have told, that is okay, but for the review purpose, like for whom I will Like I practiced the story, but for the review, like whom I will give it.
So give it to me, na. Why am I here? Just take a psych test from me and send your dossier. I'll tell you where you can improve. Basic things only, like how you can give better responses. I'll tell you some suggestions on where you can improve and implement those changes.
Actually, like when you are conducting the meeting at that time, I will be in my duty only. So like I will be available after 10. So that is the main issue.
So after 10 only, even I am available. Morning time, even I have duty. Yeah. I am available mostly at
Um,
nights only. After 10 p.m. until like 1, 2, even 3, 4 a.m. is fine. Because night time is my personal time. I can sacrifice it and I can interact with you. Office time is a commitment, so I can't talk to you then.
okay, you take sessions after 10, right?
Yes, anytime after dinner time, like let's say, and 9 to 12, I am already booked for with these sessions. Like I have already created this online link, and people have booked their personal sessions. So I am engaged with them. After 12 midnight, I am mostly free. You can contact me then.
Okay, and apart from it, like could you conduct paid sessions also?
What session?
Paid sessions. Like these sessions are you are conducting for free, right?
Hmm.
And like beside this, you conduct paid session also.
No, no, I am not doing anything on a paid basis. I'm doing everything for free only. All my sessions are free, of course.
Okay, like could I message you personally also like to review my
Yes, yes,
story?
yes.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
You're
Yes.
welcome. Manjunathan is here. Speak up, Manjunathan. All right. Ankit Kumar again.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
So I want to ask a question. Is it good to prepare for the SSB regular on the regular basis? As earlier I was eligible for the NCC special entry, but I am not now.
Hmm.
And after 2 months, I have to give CDS exam. So is it good to continuously prepare for the SSB,
So obviously, it's a
like
daily basis.
participating in the GDs, lecture rates?
Yes. The more you prepare, the better you are, and better performance you will give there. So yes. And I'm surprised. How come you were eligible
Okay,
for
sir.
entry and now you are not? What happened?
So due to that percentage criteria change,
Acha, acha. Understood.
earlier it was 50%. Now they changed to 60%.
Understood. Understood.
And so, can I play sports or I should avoid sports during my for during my CDS exam till my CDS exam is not completed?
That's up to you. If you are confident enough to manage your sports and written exam, you can go ahead. But if you are not well prepared, if you think you need to give more time for your exam preparation, then cut down on your sports and focus more on studies.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Abhideep Chaube.
जैन सर
Jai Hind, yaar.
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन था सर कि मैं सर मेरा मतलब अंकल ने यूपीएससी सीएससी दिया है सर तो मतलब
Okay,
उन्होंने मतलब एग्जाम क्लियर किया और इंटरव्यू के लिए गए थे तो उन्होंने
okay.
बोला कि मतलब डरा दिया है पूरा मतलब कि इंटरव्यू ऐसा होता है वैसा होता है तो मतलब और सर मतलब क्वेश्चन मेरा ये है कि सर कि मैंने बाको जैसे लिखा था अपने मतलब प्रोफाइल में कि सर मुझे मतलब पोएट लिखना पोएम साथ लिखना अच्छा लगता है लोगों को मतलब वॉच करना अच्छा लगता है और सर मतलब मम्मी के साथ डांस करना अच्छा लगता है तो चाचा बोल रहे थे कि मतलब वो पूछेंगे तुम्हें मम्मी के साथ कौन सा डांस करते हो सालसा करते हो वो करते हो ये करते हो
Okay. इसमें
और
सवाल क्या
मतलब
है?
तो बोला सर वही पूछा था कि सर वो सब कुछ पूछते हैं क्या सर
कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं यार. SSB is a test where anything can be asked. Your personal life, your academics, everything. Like it's a personality interview ना, तो तुम्हारी जिंदगी के बारे में कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं.
और सर दूसरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि मतलब मुझे पर्सनली क्रिकेट बहुत पसंद है, क्योंकि मतलब फैमिली में ही वैसा है कि मतलब पापा को भी बहुत क्रिकेट पसंद है और मतलब भैया को भी क्रिकेट पसंद है, तो मुझे मतलब ऑफकोर्स एक क्रिकेट के लिए लव था। लेकिन सर मतलब मेरे लोकेलिटी में फुटबॉल बहुत मतलब फेमस है सर खेलने के लिए। तो मैं
Okay.
मतलब फुटबॉल खेलता था, तो मैं ईसीएल के लोकल टीम में, जो ईसीएल कोलफील्ड का एक आपने सुना होगा शायद, ईसीएल सुना होगा सर, ईस्टर्न कोलफील्ड्स लिमिटेड, तो उसके लोकल टीम में मैं सिलेक्ट हुआ था सर।
Okay.
तो वो मेंशन करना अच्छा रहेगा सर?
Obviously, you have achieved something, na? You have got selected in some sports team. Mention it.
थैंक यू सर। गुड नाइट सर।
Good night. All right. Next, Pankaj Singh.
Yes, sir. I have another doubt that in my academics, like in seventh or eighth class, I was joined SPC, like was student cadet in my school. So will it be suitable to mention it in PIQ form in the activities? Because I was
Wait, wait, wait. Your voice is breaking. I'm not able to make out. Start from the beginning, please.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
So, sir, I was saying that in my academics in seventh or eighth class, I was joined in the student police cadet SPC, but I was just the part of the group. I was not any type of captain at all. So,
Okay.
will it be suitable to mention in the PIQ form in the extracurricular activities?
Yes, you can mention if you are an active member of the group, if you have contributed in some manner. You need not be the leader of the group, but you have taken part, you have done something, you have learned something from it. So it is worth mentioning.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Next, Pratyush. Okay, Manjunathan had some problem with his mic. I think he has texted his doubt. Let's read it. My doubt is related to PIQ. Can I mention my past hobbies in PIQ? Currently, I'm out of home. If I'm in home, hobbies are different. Yes, hobbies, you can write about your hobbies which you had in the past also. Like all these games, hobbies, anything. At any point of time in your life, if you have practiced them, if you have been involved in them, you can mention. It need not be your current hobby or current, sporting activity. Anything which you have done at any point in your life, you can mention. Next, anyone any doubts?
Sir,
Yes, Pankaj.
Sir, if I have a hobby of listening music, so will the interviewer ask for for singer song?
See, listening to music is not actually a hobby. It is not worth mentioning at all. Listening to music, breathing, walking, no, these are not hobbies here. Hobby is something which has, like listening to music, if you have done it at a level where, you have actually, if you're a music practitioner, like if you're a singer yourself, if you are a, if you're playing some instrument, that is a hobby. Listening to music, watching TV, these are not hobbies at all. These are time pass activities. Like listening to music is a time pass activity. It's not a hobby. There's a difference.
sir, do you conduct psych test and personal interview sessions?
Yes.
Sir, so how can we give personal interview and psych test
So all
there?
details are mentioned in the group descriptions here. If you enroll in my mentorship, I'll add you in these WhatsApp groups where all details are mentioned. You can register yourself online. I have put a link on the group description. You can click on that and you will get the schedule. And you can book yourself a 45-minute slot where I'll be personally on video call with you and I'll take your interview or psych assessment.
Okay, sir. So everything is free, na? PPDT session and all interviews
Everything is
like.
free of cost. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. You're welcome.
So the group is that SSB Bro, Bravo, that group,
Yes,
sir.
yes. Alpha, Bravo,
I
Charlie,
have done my
Delta, Hotel Juliet.
Okay, sir.
Was a
Thank you,
group.
sir.
In the same group description, you will
yeah. I
find.
had a doubt like
Sachin, huh?
so I'm had having one other doubt like I have done my BTech in the like IT, but I got my aggregate as 72%. But nowadays the TGC cutoff is going to this 80%, like touching like 80% from the past two
Hmm.
courses. So I'm thinking to plan go for the MSc in computer science for distance learning. It is good, like or not? I'm just asking of your suggestions.
See, for SSB perspective, it doesn't have any implication because your undergraduation score only will matter in further attempts also. Go for SSC Tech, it has a relatively lower cutoff. Go for Navy direct entries, even they have a lower cutoff than TGC. If you want to go for that, or clear some written exams, na, go for CDS and other entries. If you have that age,
Yes, like I'm having one attempt for IMA and like one for Air Force flying, but I am having attempts for like SSC Tech, then Navy and all. Like, but no, I've gone through a notification. So there mentioned people who have done MSc in the computer science also they are eligible for this TGC. So, but the thing is cut off only.
see, why do you want to do MSc Computer Science after BTech? You are wasting one more year. For those who do BSc Computer Science and then take up MSc Computer Science, it has sense. Overall, they are spending 5 years, three in graduation and two for MSc.
Yeah.
You already spent 4 years and you're already eligible for the entry. Just to increase your percentage and make yourself eligible for TGC, if you want to waste 2 years, that's not a wise decision. Go for other entries, go for
Okay.
SSC Tech, go for Navy direct entries, and try to clear these written exams, CDS AFCAT for these last attempts you have.
Yeah, sure, sure. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
All right, you're welcome. Anyone else having any doubts? No
Sir,
hands.
my
Wait,
SSB.
wait, wait, wait. Bhagyashri, yes, go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Sir, I've recently been conferenced out. It was my first attempt.
Mhm.
So, how do I judge where I lagged? Like in all the
Okay.
tasks, I found that my performance was average. It was not extraordinary, also, and it was
Mhm.
not that bad. So, how do I judge for my next SSB key where I lagged
See,
in
look
those
back at
tasks?
each task and see where you could have performed better. Like look at your potential only, not the what you are saying as extraordinary performance, not required. To your potential, could you have done anything better in any of the tasks? Think about that first thing and make a note of them and try to improve on those things and give your best performance the next time. One thing. And two, look at all the tasks and try to recognize your weaknesses, as in personality weaknesses. Not each task separately and seeing इस task में ये करना था तो I didn't do this, so I'll try to change it and do in a different way next time. That is also important. But what is more important is try to assess your weaknesses through this. Like throughout these 5 days, did you in any manner show lack of confidence? In anything, like let's say in your indoor tasks or in the individual obstacles, did you hesitate in any of the obstacles? Like think about the psychological testing background of each task. You will get to know at some point in your 5 days you would have shown some sign of some weakness. So try to recognize those weaknesses you showed and improve on them. Try to overcome those weaknesses and make sure you do not repeat those things in your next attempt. All these core weaknesses of yours, anything, like let's say you are not good in your English, let's say in a group you could not convince them, many things you can recognize them yourself. When you look back at each test and see what exactly happened, you will realize ki these are some things where I can improve on. To realize those weaknesses, you can do this, like this is SWOT analysis basically. So look back at your life and think about the weaknesses, one thing. And this SSB is a key tool for you because your entire testing procedure has been in front of you. So look back at it and use that as a self introspection tool those 5 days and improve on those weaknesses which you recognize. That should be your approach for the next SSB. Any other doubts or
Uh,
was cleared?
yes, you told about I should analyze my weaknesses.
Mhm.
But while there were many tasks that I found that I could have done better,
Mhm.
but those who did that better than me, they also did not get recommended. So I didn't know. So
See,
I don't know what.
they did good as per their potential. So they did better than you, but maybe they didn't do justice to their potential. That is why they were conference out. So you don't. It's not a comparative test. So stop
Right.
comparing yourself with others' performances. You are saying you could have done better in few tasks or most of
Yeah.
the
Right.
tasks, whatever way. So address that gap. Try to
Okay.
give your best performance, your personal best performance, without comparing it with other people's performance.
Right. Okay. Thank you, sir.
That way will improve your chances. All right, you're welcome. Next, Pratyush Kumar.
Sir, I have checked the schedule of personal interview and all the dates of July are filled and my SSB interview is scheduled on 17th of July, 3
I can
AFSB.
understand that. I have been getting many requests like this. I can try to adjust it if someone cancels their session or if I get some extra free time, which is unlikely to happen. So I won't promise you anything.
Yes,
Assume
sir.
that it is not available only. But in case, if you get lucky, if I have some free time, I will let you know. You can just personal message me, and if there is some availability, I'll put it there, and you can, book that session. Otherwise, I do not have free time, honestly. Morning, I am involved in office work, and I am managing these group sessions. With the personal sessions at night, I am already, covering my 24 hours. So it's impossible to adjust it somewhere. If possible, I'll definitely do that. And for everyone who hasn't done it, it's on first come first serve basis. So whoever has booked it first has got the chance. I'm not doing any favorism for anyone. It's all
Yes,
open.
sir. Sir, if someone cancels his or her schedule, then how can I know that I have a
That is why
chance?
I'm telling you, for people who request me ki my SSB is on so and so date, I want it at an earlier date if possible. I have made a note of all such candidates, and even in that, I am following first come first serve. Whoever has messaged me first saying I need an earlier slot, I'm
Yes.
prioritizing them. And whenever a session gets cancelled, I'll give that first person the chance, and then the second person that way. So put me a message saying this is your SSB date, and preferably you need a slot before that date. And sessions are unlikely to get cancelled because till now I've conducted what, I think 18 sessions and only one got cancelled. That too because of some power cut or some
Yes,
unfor
sir.
reason of his. So it is unlikely to get cancelled. But in case it happens, I would be happy to give you that chance.
And sir, what about the psych test? How can I perform in the psych
Yeah,
test?
so I've already answered this multiple times. Like
At the
these
same
questions.
time, same schedule, sir.
Uh, for the for my personal assessment, yes, you
Yes,
need to
yes.
book a slot online, personal interview or psych assessment. It's the same thing. Those 45 minutes which I give you, it's one on one.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome. Next, Rajesh.
Jenza.
Jai Hind.
Sir, I want to ask that I have specs and my power is -1. Is there any chance that I will join I could join Air Force in the flying branch?
No, for flying branch, it is strictly required that you need to have 6 by 6 vision in both eyes. -1 is a not eligible thing. I had -0.25 personally, and I was rejected. So you can assess the level of strictness.
Okay, sir.
Flying you cannot get. All other branches you are eligible for.
So there are surgeries and like LASIK surgeries there,
Yes,
but
yes, you can get it done. You can get it done, and there's a period of time you need to give after LASIK. It is mentioned as 1 year in the
yes,
notification. So after your LASIK, you need to give 1 year before you go for your medical. But there is some excuse given, even if it is like 8 months, 9 months. They know it has cured. Usually LASIK, and there have been these modern techniques like Smile, or what else they call, like advanced techniques than LASIK,
yes,
which take a few months only. Like in 1 or 2 months, your cornea and all will be cured, and you are fit to fly. So the Air Force is not yet permitting lesser duration. They are still saying we need 1 year after LASIK. But the doctors are considerate, provided you get recommended and you go till that stage. No one wants to reject you for some 1 or 2 months of this period. So get your LASIK done as early as possible, and by the time you go for your medicals, it should be healed. Like it should have been at least 6 months. That is when your eye completely heals and it will be detected in the medical test. So at least 6 months is compulsory. But the more time you have taken, the better it is. On paper, they ask you for 1 year. So ideally, it should be 1 year.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome. Next, Alpha Brahma again.
Sir, I left a question, sir, regarding to SRT. Sir,
Yes.
while attempting SRT, sir, mind goes completely blank, sir. So, sir, I want
These
any
are simple
support.
reactions here. You shouldn't go blank at all, first thing. They are very common day to day situations which are given to you. Like, tell me one example where you go blank.
So, means, sir, you have to go for both these situations. Means both are important. Like, if you
That is not a
uh,
blank thing, na. You must be able to decide. That's a personality weakness. When you are going blank when these situations are thrown, it shows that you are not a decisive person. When there are certain problems, you are unable to take a call. If there is left and right and both are important to you, you need to take a choice. You need to go in some direction. You can't stay in between and think about it, or that is what you mean by going blank, unable to decide. So you
so,
must be
sir,
able to,
then how can sir we improve? How can you improve, sir, SRT?
by actually implementing it here, you must become a decisive person in general life. If there are two ways in front of you and both are equally good, you must be able to take a call. You must think of the pros and cons and what is important to you. It is about priority, as someone else also pointed out. It's about prioritizing things. There is obviously one thing which is more important to you than the other, but that gap is very small. Both are almost there. Like one is 49%, one is 51%. Recognize that 1% gap and go with the one which has higher priority.
Got it, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome. Next, anyone? Any hands raised? All right. So all of you can unmute yourself now, and we'll open this for some informal discussion. Saurav.
Yes, sir. I'll stop the recording.
Sir,
All right.
I am having a